Make sure everything's working up here on this side. Come on, Twitch. Come on. Come on, Twitch. There we go. All right, loaded up just fine. Pull that up. Tenwin, welcome, welcome. All right, is that working? Desktop audio is good. Mic's audio is good. There we go. All right, let's dive right back in. We got more shit to uncover in this fucking battery. Would also like to give a shout out to Treemosher and Nagratep, who I believe both followed after the raid yesterday, after yesterday's stream. So shout out to Treemosher and Nagratep. We are at 48 out of 50 to hit affiliate. We're getting there. There's 2 left, yep. Oh, that is a big golem. That is a really big golem. That is a really big golem. I did make sure I posted this time. Would you believe that after stream yesterday, I opened my internet browser back up and the tab for Twitter literally was my post sitting in the draft section? All I did was forget to hit enter. I had it all typed up and everything. I just forgot to hit enter right before I came on stream. That's my luck. Okay, boy, okay. You know what? Let me see here. I'm thinking we give him some Svef and some White Yennefer as soon as we... Go ahead and just... What is that? Might +1 move speed. -2 perception. Alright, go ahead and eat that too. The pillar tugs at your essence. A pulse from the world itself moves through it.
The Guardians will hold the door as long as need be.
Everyone else is ready. So few of us remain.
Lord Abydon, guide our hands and steel our hearts. Give us the mercy of your forge.
Ring of Searing Flames. Grants combusting wounds 3 times per rest. Honestly, not the worst. We have someone we could put that on easily. Oh, we already have one on him. Somehow I didn't know that. Oh, we'll throw one on her as well. Why not? Where'd it go? There it is.
Magnificent. It looks as if my toes are wriggling, even when I hold them still.
Few tokens, filthy coins, and tattered ribbons have been scattered on this bone pile. I have noticed that the offerings to the dead and the offerings to Abaddon have been getting more and more, like, haphazard as we've gotten deeper. Like, it started with, like, proper offerings, and now that we're down here, it's all just falling apart.
I've got it. Finished.
Camping supplies, primal water, Potion of Flame Shield. I wonder if that's going to be important. I think maybe I should equip some potions of Flame Shield. Does anybody else think I should equip some potions of Flame Shield? I think we should equip some potions of Flame Shield. That sounds like a good idea. Plus 10 dam reduction. Oh. It's a flame, it's literally a flame shield. I thought it was a shield against flame. It's literally a flame shield. Now I feel particularly stupid. Yeah, that doesn't help. That doesn't help. Spirit shield helps? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Merciless Gaze. We're going to put those on her. Ingress, displaced image. Flexion and reflex for the duration. That sounds like a tank item. Bulwark against the elements. There we go. We only have 3. That's unfortunate. Potion of Barring Death's Door. Potion of Flame Shield. Potion of Major Endurance. There we go. 127. That's a bit better. How do I... Can I split them? There we go. No, that did not split them. There we go. Take 2 on you. Remaining 3 on you. 50 attack speed. Minus 14 endurance over 30 seconds. Actually, that's not that bad. Go ahead and... Actually, we'll put that on him instead of that. Potion of Major Regeneration. Go ahead and put that on her. Go. Minor Endurance, Minor Recovery. Mirror Image. Eldritch Aim. You can only hold 5 at a time. Yeah. I'm aware. I'm aware. Swamp Lurker. Not the worst idea, I suppose. Those mossy rocks. Alright. Frightened for 21 seconds. That doesn't really help me. Tanglefoot, Resistance, Prayer Against Fear, Nature's Mark, Phantom Flame. Dag's Horn, no. Hailstorm, Concussive Missiles, Missile Barrage. Oh, 3DR Bypass, that's nice. Roll of Valor, Friendly AoE. Yeah. That's the vibe I'm getting from all of this, that's for damn sure. Let me see here. 10 max endurance, 1 dexterity, 1 perception. 8 max endurance, intelligence and perception. 10 max endurance, 1 might, 1 perception. 2 dexterity, 2 constitution. 1 move speed, 1 might. 10 and might. Perception, constitution, math, health, max endurance, and intellect. I'm thinking it's not going to help me that much. We don't have many resources for that one. Just going to go with straight damage. Thank you. Now where is it? Where is it? Where the fuck did it go? Hello? Oh. Doi. So... so we gotta put... No, I don't... Oh my god. There we go. There. Doi, I suppose that makes fucking sense. Okay. Everybody eat up.
Yes?
Okay, good. He's still got a lot of time on that.
Right.
A large stone dragon skull stands silent vigil at one end of the circular chamber. Within its maw is a network of steel dividers, tubes, and vents, indicating that this impressive construction served as the furnace for the White Forge. There is a shallow basin at the foot of the furnace, and in the eye sockets of the skull itself are golden rings, evidently meant to house some manner of gem or instrument. The dragon skull gazes down upon you with hollow eyes. Both have gleaming golden rings worked into the sockets. Both stand empty. In the basin at the base of the furnace, you note a rectangular gap, as if something once sat within. Place the Adrasphere in the left socket. With a little climbing, you're able to reach the left eye socket and carefully wedge the sphere into place. It fits snugly, and you think you sense a small ripple of energy as the eye is set within. You feel a faint vibration through the skull. It grows in intensity until the very ground seems to shake. Loose cobblestones rattling in their settings, you leap from the furnace to confront what comes.
What stirs in the heart of the battery?
What? Okay. Place the Adrasphere in the right socket. You climb into position and carefully set the Adrasphere into the golden ring at the center of the right eye socket. The sphere fits perfectly, and it drops into place. A peculiar burst of energy ripples out from the dragon eye and through you. The air shifts imperceptibly around you. The Adrasphere you have placed suddenly blazes with orange light, fading from a blinding brightness to the vibrant glow of a campfire. Thin smoke rises from both orbs, and in the depths of the furnace you hear the rattling of machinery.
Heat. Tremors. They returned.
Place the stone disc in the hollow space behind the basin. You place the stone disc into the basin and find that it fits perfectly within the hollow. Before your eyes, the disc turns of its own accord, rotating this way and that before sinking into position. From deep within the furnace comes a startling metallic screech, as if some hidden mechanism has come to life. From the vents around you rises hot, stale air and the glow of a rising fire. A gust of hot air erupts from the stone dragon's maw. Molten ore begins to drip from the basin, and dark, billowing smoke begins to gush from between the skull's fangs. You hear another rending shriek, but not of machinery. Around you rise a chorus of howls, bodiless voices raised in rage and despair.
Remember yourselves, Pargrunen! Defend the battery!
Okay, and of course they're right on top of us from the beginning. And they're immune to Charmed and Dominated. Great. Alright. We know the drill. Let's see if we can at least cut down one of them.
Yes?
Aloth, go ahead and give me a blinding on Exandru, because he's the spellcaster. Go ahead and give me a blessing centered on this.
I'm ready.
And they already came from behind, so Aloth is currently having problems. This is going to be bad. Okay. And I have already been confused. Thanks, game. I love it. Aloth, can you try and get the Forge Guardian stunned with that special attack of yours? That would be great. He is dazed and confused. Oh, that's just great. And she's also confused. I love not having control of my entire fucking party 2 seconds into the battle. It's fucking great. There we go. Well, it only stunned him for about 4 seconds, but that's better than nothing. Aloth, we're going all out. Give me a chain lightning. Durance, give me a bouncing spell, if you would please. Target the same Forge Guardian. We need to at least focus one of them down. While the rest of my fucking party can't do jack shit. Blinding Strike on the Golem. Keep him from focusing. There we go.
I'm ready.
Alright, she's back out of it. Pelagina, if you would be so kind, give me Strike on the Forge Guardian. We don't have much of a choice.
Zawa is ready.
Zawa, go ahead and increase the speed of your attacks. I am still confused and thus can do nothing. I don't even know where I am because holy no, focus on the enemy I told you to. And now half my party is paralyzed. Great. I love it. I absolutely love it. I love not having control of my entire party repeatedly, every round, without fail. Please paralyze him, for the love of God. Oh, wait, I can't heal because they paralyzed my priest again. I am desperately trying to get Aloth away from this thing. He is going to die, because of course he will. There we go. Durance, heal, please. Thank you. That's better than nothing. Aloth is still taking a lot of damage. Can we give him something? That's not going to help. That's really... Well, it is 31, so hold on. Actually, go ahead and do that one next.
Yes?
Aloth, give me another lightning. He's immune to fire, highly resistant to lightning, and not resistant to frost. Okay, hold on. That is a faux AoE. Never mind. Forget the lightning. Give me the pillar on this group right in front of you, please.
Yeah.
As for me... we're still working on him. He has broken out of paralyzed. Go ahead and paralyze him again, please. Zawa, go ahead and do that. Now also boost your rage, please. And continue the attack. Devil of Karak, keep attacking. If you could go ahead and do a finishing blow on that Forge Guardian since it's at half health, that would be great. Durance, I need healing spell directed on you, please. Thank you. Can we please kill these Forge Guardians that continue to hit Aloth? Drop another nigger. Please drop another one. Please drop another one, for the love of God. Why does Durance not have a level 6 healing spell? Or rather, why does the level 6 healing spell fucking suck? Nope, that's not gonna help, that's not gonna help, that's not gonna help. Alright, fine. See if the daze might help a tiny bit. Pelagina, go ahead and Flames of Devotion. Me! Oh, we actually killed that guy, okay, go ahead and paralyze this one. There we go. There we go. Okay, now also paralyze this one. Okay, he's paralyzed. Aloth, get the hell out of there. The rest of you, get in there.
That's it.
There we go. Ugh. Whew. Engwithan daggers, Engwithan shields. Awakened Audra, Primal Flame, Primal Rock, Shattered Animat Armor. Interesting. Whew. Okay. Nothing there. Is there anything else around here? The Battery Watchtower and the White Forge. No, it does not appear that there's anything. There's nothing else to interact with. Go to stealth mode, make sure there's nothing hidden. Did we check out? I don't think we did. It's as if these skeletons were once stacked, but they've fallen apart as their connective tissue has rotted away. Okay. That was pretty tough, but not bad. Aloth absolutely got his shit kicked in, but we managed to keep him alive because Durance actually managed to do some decent healing. Thank you, Durance. Thank you. Most kind of you. Oh. Where the fuck are we? The crumbling edge of this long platform suggests that there were once stairs leading down from here, perhaps joining with the pathway some distance below. It seems a manageable jump from here on this side, but you doubt you would be able to return the same way. You can interact with the forge? Wait, what? I didn't see anything. Nope. Nope, not seeing anything. There does not appear to be anything. The Adra just had... Oh.
Stop, Marauder! Our bodies are dust already. Must you profane holy ground with further violence?
Flames roar and whip from within the forge. As they rise, their glow washes the room in a gory crimson light.
Did the height of our walls offend you? Did we cross your borders? Sail you weak steel? Tell us, why did you invade our fortress?
Behind the anger and through the roaring flames, you hear the voice of a tired old man. There is a misunderstanding. Your battery is abandoned. Hey, Tree Mosher, welcome, welcome. Thank you for the follow, by the way. I gave you a shout out. I gave you a quick shout out at the beginning of the stream. Thank you for following after that raid yesterday. Thank you, thank you.
No, that cannot be. Abydon wouldn't allow it.
The flames flicker and shudder, and the stones beneath your feet grow suddenly cold. It's more just at the game mechanics, and I don't know, I think it's the way the real-time combat is set up. It's just kind of annoying that the second you start combat, every single enemy in their entire group is just like, I'm gonna go ahead and cast my control spells now on the first turn. Then you're gonna be able to do nothing with at least half your party for the entirety of the first round. Isn't that great? It's like, okay, I'm getting kind of tired of that. Getting just a little bit tired of it.
Wake up, Exandru. This is why Abidan gave us the White Forge, that we might take up arms and deal with villains like this.
Hey, Stylish, welcome. I need to get back to you. I'm sorry, I saw your messages earlier. I've been traveling the last few days before yesterday's stream and whatnot. I will send you some messages after stream, Stylish. I'm sorry about the delay. Heat surges once again from the forge, prickling upon your skin.
Such a magnificent device, and she can only see it as a tool for war. She shames our grandparents, who wandered this continent and...
Quiet, both of you! Can't you feel it? This chill. This silence.
The fires crackle and snap.
But you entered our keep and found it abandoned. Ruined. What happened to us?
His question drips from the mouth of the White Forge, wreathing you in a cloud of acrid smoke. I'm afraid that the official history is that your people destroyed themselves, but it looks like someone or something invaded your battery.
I'd never seen anything like them. Twice the size of any ogre, and positively fearless. They were...
Eyeless. Yet no matter how hard we fought, or how deep we hid, they kept coming for us.
Eyeless? What the fuck? What were they?
Some kind of magfolk, but bigger than any we knew of. We who survived never got close.
How did they walk through the doors? Well, the doors are pretty big, Tenwin, and it wouldn't be that hard for something to crouch down to go through it. The real question is how they made it through all the tunnels, because I can't imagine that the Pargrunan made much more than just the entryways very large in their fortresses. After all, most outsiders wouldn't have been expected to go beyond, like, the front gates, so why would you build something extra large that you didn't have to? That said, they might be tall, but that doesn't mean that they're not fairly spindly. They could easily crawl through the tunnels, which I imagine in from a first-person perspective of the dwarves would look equally horrifying.
They were relentless. Unnaturally so.
Why did they attack you? They didn't stop to explain themselves. Yet I wondered at what monstrous wilder might survive in a place like this.
We should have taken our steel and pushed east.
What's to say they didn't come from the east? From the lands Maroon so coveted?
It was a punishment for taking this gift of Abidon, the White Forge, and squandering it on our greed and vanity.
The other voices say nothing, but you feel their doubt and dissent in the stifling heat of the forge.
We retreated until there was no place left to go. Until those of us who remained were here.
Here, with the salvation Abidon had left us.
You used the White Forge to channel your own souls into the battery, as well as those of your remaining kin, didn't you?
Yes, using the same methods with which we had fashioned so much cold steel.
So the dwarves never expired? Not truly.
It was agony. Feeling your soul ripped from your flesh. Feeling every part of you torn asunder. But it saved us.
Certain definition of saved, I suppose you could say. Yeah, I can't imagine that the Devil of Karak is very happy hearing that these people chose this fate.
Imprisoned us.
It was Abidon's grace. Now, we inhabit the monument our people built to the White Forge.
What does this have to do with Abidon specifically?
The White Forge belongs to Abidon, of course. It is here that he built his own body.
Oh, okay, that actually makes a lot of sense, given what little we know about Abidon.
And whether he found this place or created it, it's a truly remarkable smithy.
We Pargrunin are wanderers by nature. But it was Abidon's call that led our forefathers here after generations spent along the Pearl Coast and Air Glonfath.
Yep, literal divine forge. Literally a forge that both was used by and built a god.
So the old stories say. Then again, I can't see any other reason our grandfathers would have stayed here when greener lands lay east.
Okay, Maroon, we get it. You don't want to be here. Although, even I was a bit skeptical, but if this literally is the forge that both was worked by and built a god, that's kind of a big deal. Like, even by this world standards, where the gods tend to be pretty hands-on, that's a fairly big fucking deal. Also, Durance, would you like to comment, or are you actually holding your tongue out of tact for once? How does the White Forge work?
Its fires have been blessed by Abidon. They're fed by Eora's molten heartbeat and veined with Audra that runs to the center of the world.
Which explains their conductive power. See, these Audra veins allowed us to siphon essence into steel as we shaped it.
And that essence, the extraordinary heat of the forge, and our smith's skill is what made Durgan's steel so remarkable.
Oh, and how much you want to bet that one of the ways they got easy access to souls was killing the local ogres, because the local ogres talked about how this place was horrible, evil, and should never be entered. Can't wait for this shit to blow up in the locals' faces when they try to run the forge again, because I bet you anything that's what's going to happen in part 2. That and a return of whatever the fuck blew this place up. I see. And now you're stuck here. Your people are Durgan's battery now.
Stuck here, you mean? With all the others who sought to escape the Eyeless.
Is that necessarily a bad thing? Or the literal thousands of spirits hanging around? I mean, to be fair, from the sound of it, the vast majority are currently trapped inside this giant Audra pillar here, which probably extends quite a bit further down, as well as the Audra veins built into the forge itself. Most likely the ones we're dealing with are the stragglers who died, quite frankly, horrible, excruciating, and painful deaths defending the various passageways while the rest of them got down here and completed their ritual. So, you know, thousands of spirits in here, a couple dozen to 100 out here. You know, not the worst, not the, yeah, there's no way to sugarcoat this. This is horrifying in the extreme. Like, I get what this is choosing. It's the two sides between stoic and passionate, but I really want to know their perspective. Quite frankly, my perspective on this issue doesn't really matter. I need to know their perspective, and I need to know what the hell is happening to them. Is that a bad thing?
Had we thought longer on the fate that awaited us, we might have chosen a quick death to this slow agony.
Blasphemy! There's no greater honor than remaining here, watching over the White Forge.
I suppose that's a pair of ways to look at it. Especially given the fact that you three will be stuck together for all eternity.
I only wish we could protect this humble monument better.
Or do something. Anything. We were once among the greatest smiths in the known world. Tell me, do Kith still speak of us?
Yes, and highly. The Pargrunen of Durgren's Keep are still considered among the finest smiths in the world, and the few examples of Durgan's steel that still circulate within the Dyrwood and beyond are highly prized.
That is good to know. It's only a shame that this legacy is nothing but a memory.
The White Forge radiates a gentle warmth.
Is this why you braved the restless souls of Durgan's battery? To recover the process of Durgan's steel?
There is a village not far from here, called Stalwart. It and its people have fallen on hard times. They hoped that the secret of your steel might revitalize their town. They asked me to find the White Forge and a way into your battery. At this admission, you feel a softening in the essence of the Pargrunen. In one moment, each soul and fragment is distinct, and in the next they form an indistinguishable host. You perceive them as one might a school of fish caught in a tide, a flurry of snowflakes on the wind, or a pantry full of different but overlapping fragrant spices.
Then I hope you're satisfied with what you found here.
I mean, I still have a lot of questions, and quite frankly, it looks like the three of you were just about ready to start brutally murdering each other before whatever these eyeless were showed up.
At least you get to leave this place.
But it was good to be remembered. However briefly.
As the souls of Durgan's battery speak to you, their collective essence begins to take shape, much as Merwald's did. There are scores of them, all torn by conflicting purpose, trapped in the memory of their lost battle and final days. You taste the raw bitterness of their uncertain existence and feel the persistent ache of centuries. It is a slow, agonizing fate, but you do find it in your power to grant them another. Okay, so obviously the first is Maroon. She wants to leave. She's done with all of this. She's done with dealing with everything here. Bind them to the cannons is Exandru. He believes that they should be able to defend their fortress no matter what. He might be willing to let us back in at some point, but it's highly unlikely he'll let anyone from Stalwart or anywhere else come in. At the same time, something tells me that in the second part of the DLC, these eyeless are going to come back, which means this might be the most practical option, because Exandru might actually be able to help us fight them off again. Although, from the sound of it, the various defenses of the Forge were not enough the first time around, even with literally an army of dwarves defending it. And lastly, we have the Coin Master to remain here and lend their skills to others, which would be the most practical solution for us and Stalwart, but also leaves them here tending to a forge forever. At the same time, it would allow them to continue to defend it to at least a certain extent, or at least to help mitigate any costs of it. I have a feeling that this is setting up for what will happen in part 2 of the DLC, and I am not sure which to take. I think... The purely diplomatic option would probably be to allow them to be free completely and to seek new lives. At the same time, the legacy is the most practical option, and is the one that at least some of them seem to want. Something that gives their lives, or rather their unlives, one might say, a sense of purpose and a sense of meaning. From the sound of it, the Adra will slowly release fragments of their souls. They will be free in time. It will just take a long time, even if they're bound to the White Forge and the Adra Monument. By contrast, if we bind them to the cannons and anything happens to the outside, they'll be released fairly quickly and fairly violently. I'm going to actually go with the practical option here. I ask that you tend to your legacy. I ask that you remain here and lend your skills to others, and keep watch over those who would learn the secrets of Durgan's steel. This is a shrine to Abaddon, of creation itself, just as much as it is a economic piece of equipment. Abaddon would not wish for a divine forge to remain without its fire and without craftsmen to tend it. You feel a plunging sensation as the energy of dozens of souls rush out of the Adra Monument and into the White Forge. It buffets you like a storm wind. You brace yourself against it. Finally, the ether grows still again, and you feel new power radiating from the forge. It emanates a warmth that you can feel in your soul, yet you know that you could draw close to it without fearing the heat of its fire. The White Forge is now available for your use. It has a unique ability to refine Durgan iron ingots. Multiple iron ingots are required to create a single refined ingot. After refinement, these ingots can be used at any time in enchanting recipes to augment shields, weapons, armor, or shields, armor, and weapons with Durgan steel. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Obviously, there's no reason not to immediately do this. We can make 5 things of efficient, refined Durgan iron ingots. Okay. So, how the fuck does this work? Oh, Durgan reinforced armor. 15% of incoming crits are converted to hits. Minus 15% armored speed penalty. Does that mean it gets slower? Or does that mean that I get faster? Faster. Okay, I'm just making sure, Tenway. Sometimes game developers make something that they think is super ultra awesome and give it a what they think is a minor side effect, but then you actually do the math and it's like, this is never worth it, ever. I'm going to hold off on using it yet, simply because, well, I don't know if we have the endgame armor, and I don't know if we're ever going to find other things. If you free the spirits, they would have come to your aid in the second DLC at some point. Ah, well, that's nice to know, but it's a shame nothing's going to happen with that. Oh, well. Figure out what we want to use our Durgan steel for at a later date, once we figure out what our end game equipment is going to be, most likely. In fact, I do want to know, for example, what does a Durgan refined weapon do? 15% attack speed, nice. 30% to crit damage multiplier, very nice. 20% of hits converted to crits. You probably can't, because I think all the soulbound weapons are, yeah, you don't have the option for enchantment. Yeah, you can't do that. Which is a shame, because that's a really good fucking upgrade. That's a really good fucking upgrade. I do see how you could potentially make a, basically a supreme weapon that almost can match these legendary pieces of equipment. Kind of tempted to give Durance his staff it just for hilarity's sake, but that would be still kind of stupid. So we're not going to do that. Alright. Now we can leave. And we need to find more Durgan steel. That's for damn sure. We only had enough to make 5 ingots, and that's nowhere near enough.
By the time you stepped out of Durgan's battery and into the new snow outside, Word had already spread of strange lights rising from the fortress, and energy crackling in the sky. The survivors of Stalwart flocked to Durgan's battery, their steps hastened by the promise of peace and prosperity at last. They mended their walls, gathered their strength, and prepared their town for the new opportunities that were sure to come. And with the voices of Durgan's battery silent at last, none heard the distant groan of something stirring among the peaks, as massive and relentless as an avalanche.
You've completed Pillars of Eternity, The White March, Part 1. To begin the next chapter of the story, rest in any location outside of the White March, which we will be spending quite a bit of time doing. There we go. Ah, and this takes us back here. Fair enough. Ooh, there's lights now. Cool. Oh, it's even got the fires rising over here. Oh, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. Not gonna lie. All right, it's time to return to... What the fuck? Oh, I do not need this right now. Where the fuck did you come from? You should also do Cragholt before doing the second deal. Yes, but we will be doing some of Air Glanfath first. Since we are at level 12, we will go do some of Act 3. And then we will return. Where the fuck did all of you come from?
Zawa is ready.
All right. Ready. Zawa is ready. Yes, I know you're ready, Zawa. Thank you.
How may I help?
Go ahead and paralyze.
Hi?
Go ahead and do that. I said go ahead and do that. Good. There we go. Go also ahead and do that. What? Paralyzed it? I fucking hate this thing sometimes. There we go.
I am no use here.
Based on the bounties, the basic idea is the bounties do replace mobs in the area when activated unless the mobs have already been killed. Meaning that if you do the bounty first, there will be mobs in your turn. Ah, okay. I suppose I should have seen that coming. Well, more bullshit. And camping supplies. Oh. Oh, we also have... Ah! The hunt for Needon's remains proved difficult, as the Glenfathans lied incessantly to cover for those who were responsible, and Orlin Brishalgwyn helped Sagani sort the truth out, eventually recovering every part of the dead murderer's body. Although the Glenfathans were more than willing to lie about what they had done, none of them turned violent when Sagani and the Brishalgwyn confronted them, and Anamfath ordered the Brishalgwyn to bury the body in a new location that was less well-traveled than the past near Cleobon Riag. Upon returning to Caed Nua, Sagani realized that the Anamfath had never asked for Nidhen's ring finger to be returned. Grants Mind Lance once per rest, a solid interrupt with a little bit of damage, and gives +3 Constitution, and it's yet another neck item. Aravius is working on that, and that will soon be dealt with. Crate is empty, though it smells strongly of fish. All right. Down towards Stalwart. I guess I will see if anybody has any dialogue. You can check in with Galvino regarding the quest. Oh, you're right. Shit, you're right. Haravius arrived in Garara and successfully... Where is it? Where's the... There we go. Word is Solmar the Shackler is quite furious. No, he is not quite furious. He is very dead. He is very dead. I gave him to my pet ogre. Sorry, my ogre sheriff. You guys got anything to say?
200 years since folks set foot in Durgan's battery. Now you've cracked the place wide open, and with quite the display. Thanks to your help, we just might pull through. You've done a lot.
And here, I've been saving these. Some of the last gems we recovered before we had to close the mines. With any luck, we'll have them all open again soon. I'm glad I could help. So are we. But I'm hoping you'll make use of the forge, too, if you haven't already. After all, it doesn't get much better than Durgan's steel. If you can forge some into your existing gear, you'll have a powerful set of equipment on your hands. Remember the quest in Defiance Bay where you uncovered a secret murder theater? You could return to all the NPCs that you talked to for that quest and inform them that their friends and families are dead. Ooh. I guess, yeah, we should probably do that at some point the next time we go to Defiance Bay. What happens now for Stalwart? It's up to us to get this up. Yeah, it's up to us to use this opportunity to pull ourselves back together. She folds her arms and frowns. I'm still not pleased with having Berrigan's clan just a stone throw from our gates, but I'll have to hope that your deal with her holds. A better thing you should say is you should not attack the ogres just because they're next door to you. How about that? Because from what Berrigan's saying, your hunters would just sometimes randomly shoot at them for no fucking reason. So again, how about that, okay? They won't shoot at you, you don't shoot at them. All right, we're all good. The best news, though, is Taina. Used to say she'd forgotten more about mining than the rest of us ever knew, but she's starting to remember it. See, that's what I mean. She did have some level of dementia. It's partially recovered now. To be honest, I don't really think anyone could open the battery. It just gave folks something to hope for. But I'm starting to lose hope. The White Forge could... But I'm starting to hope in real. The White Forge could turn things around for us if we're able to make use of it before some Deerwood and noble stakes a damn claim out here.
What's on your mind?
Alright, that was everything.
You really did it. You found the White Forge.
It's sweet. Yes, let's go check in with Galvino and see if the Devil of Karak wants me to plant a sword in his face, because I'm not going to be surprised if she does. Actually, I'm surprised. Wait a second. Does the devil want to talk to me right now? Is she? She does not. Strange.
Huh? Does everyone else see that kraken?
Wait a second. Where was... Oh, Galvino's near the battery, not near here. I'm an idiot. Ugh. There he is, Galvino's cabin.
That was way too much Blackson.
Do. Oh, hey, I forgot about you. You know what? Let me see what you have for sale. I don't think you have anything. I just sold a whole bunch of bullshit to you, if I remember correctly. Oh, I'll take the lockpicks. I'll always take the lockpicks. Why not? Well, I wanted those in here, but fine. Whatever. Right. This still does not explain what happened with the leaden key, though. Unless they were truly unable to get inside at all, which I suppose is possible. Remember the guy asked you to steal liquor? If you hadn't told the barkeep, he does fill this round, breaks out that liquor in question as he had said that he would take it out from when the battery's open. I should talk to him. Galvino. Now, Galvino, if I find out that you start abusing the souls that are inside the White Forge, I am going to come back and kill you. Please do not make any mistakes on that matter, alright? Alright, let's get down to his study. God, I forgot how big his fucking basement is. Oh. Wait, what? Oh, camping supplies, of course. Galvino holds an open bottle of wine by the neck and wobbles on his feet. I heard a noise like the crashing of mountains. I ran up to look through the window. He points unsteadily towards the far end of his workshop. Magnificent. Oh, the fire's glowing from below. He shakes his head with tears springing from his eyes. And those village bassos will be here any day now. He takes another swig from his bottle. Oh, I can tell him about Grin.
Yes. Does the sniveling cur hide in his home? Or has he been exiled to a place even more frigid and foul?
Claps his hands together in excitement. The problem is, if I tell him, Galvino's exactly the kind of person who would actually try to do this. Something to do with the plague, which doesn't mean much. Oh, the plaque, not the plague. The plaque. And then they got smashed by ogres. Oh, okay. The way it was hinted at was I assumed that some of them died, but not all of them. So I was a little bit still confused at whether there was more to that than what we had found. Yeah, I decided not to do that.
Tickle! I should have known better than to ask a milksop. Go.
Yeah, I don't care,
The
Yelena.
devil has not scorched you yet, eh?
Alright, you had nothing else to say. Well, that was kind of worthless. Alright, we'll head back to the village, talk to the bar. Oh, yeah, Zawa does want to talk to us. Let's wait till we get over here to the door. Do 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 ba da 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 boo da do 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 do. There we go.
So the dwarves of Durgan's Battery did not destroy themselves after all. They fell to invaders.
A shame that they were destroyed. That place might have become truly great.
They left spirits to tell the tale. But the tale will never grow or change. Their time ended long ago.
He nods, more to himself than you, it appears.
But we have seen no invaders, and the battery was shut. Did they come only to destroy the dwarves, and then leave?
That seems to be what happened, though why is a far, far better question. A far more important question, and one that will have to wait until we get to the part 2 of the DLC.
It ever occur to you that maybe those dukes sent you here to screw things up?
It takes a paranoid mind to dream up a scenario where that makes any sense.
Hate to piss on your daisies, but them dukes will sell you out when it suits them.
My life is theirs. I don't question how it will end, so long as it ends in service to the Republics.
On the one hand, Gene, I get what you're saying. On the other, you are talking about a collection of city-states who have basically survived by engaging in ruthless, uncompromising power politics for the better part of a century, while being sandwiched between very large and very powerful neighbors. And they've already pretty much indicated that they don't give a shit about the Dyrwood internal political situation. Which means, quite frankly, yes, actually, you fucking things up with the Dyrwood by going to Air Glanfath could very well be what they want to have happen. Yay capitalism, yay power politics, it really doesn't matter. They're all just people playing by the rules of Machiavelli. And honestly, given the comparisons to Renaissance Italy by the Valian republics, that's a pretty accurate comparison. So you really found the White Forge, huh? He shakes his head in wonder. Hardly believed it at first, but I've never seen Renegilde so giddy about anything. He cracks a crooked grin.
Drinks on me. We should see a boost in business with the battery open. Makes for a brighter future than we had yesterday, for sure.
Sweet. Anybody else want to talk?
Thanks again.
Nope.
I'll be gone just as soon as the weather clears.
I guess we could talk to Tana, see if she has anything to say about this, since we helped repair her mind somewhat.
Haven't felt this fresh in...
Nope. Come on. Come on, loading screen. I know I'm putting you through a lot of work today, but let's get moving. Should we go talk to the ogres? I don't think they would have much to say, I wouldn't think, but I want to check in nonetheless. Also, I never really took a hard look at their merchant. Morug. There he is. Sent, welcome, welcome, welcome. We just got done with part 1 of the DLC. We're doing a little bit of a wrap up, and then we will be moving back to the main game's Act 3. Show me what you have. Okay, a bunch of fine equipment, nothing special. A bunch of shit that I sold him. A whole bunch of shit that I sold him. Poison effect tick rate and disease effect tick rate. Wild Strike Burn, except I already gave Wild Strike Burn as an ability to Haravius, and he's the only one who would use that. We sold a bunch of stuff to him. Okay, we'll just grab all of his crafting reagents and drugs. That sounds fine. Can we sell some shit to him to help pay for that? That would be great. Those are just the loose clothes. We don't need fine armor. We do not need 3 of those, that's for sure. Thank you. Also, Ring of Overseeing. I don't need 2 additional Rings of Overseeing. Thank you very much. And a whole bunch of traps. Thank you. Oh my god, I never realized we picked up this many fucking crossbows. I like keeping blue items. I don't know what I want as our final choices. When you give me an enchantment system, I'm gonna keep a lot of stuff because I don't know what I want to make the final item. Should be able to sell off the fine item, I guess. Fine blunderbuss, fine great swords. Keep one of those. Those are exceptional pole axes. No, you don't have to apologize, Sint. It's just how I've always been. Trust me, if I ever feel the desire to play Fallout 4 or Skyrim on stream, you will hate me by the end of it. That's all I'm going to say. You do not want to know what the inside of most of my characters' homes in Skyrim end up looking like. It's nothing but boxes. It's nothing but boxes carefully organized with thousands of items that I will never use, but I think either look cool or I might use them at some point in the future. That is literally all it ends up looking like. I swear. We don't need 2 of those. I guess we don't need the padded armor. We have exceptional padded armor. You can sort by quality. Well, item type still works because it puts them next to each other anyways. Fine leather, fine mail. Well, there we go. That's still fine. That's 11,000 copper. We're sitting at 100,002 copper. I think, you know. Could I invite the Alpine Dragon to guard my treasure vault by letting him sleep on an entire mountain of copper coins? Excuse me, Miss Matriarch. We would like to talk. Oh.
Sure.
Hello?
Morag can provide you with supplies and a place to rest.
Felt Bountiful Healing. That really doesn't help. Alright, I was really hoping the ogres would have something to say, given the fact that now with the White Forge working, well, the people of Stalwart aren't going to want the cannons being ripped off the walls. Seem to not be interested in gold beyond casual vanity. True, the Alpine Dragon seemed more interested in simply being left the fuck alone.
What did you say?
Nothing.
That's what I like about you.
Beg your pardon?
You don't talk much.
I half expected his alternate personality to immediately want to pipe up the second that she said that you don't talk much. There was no one else in Stalwart. Okay, we're going to return to Caed Nua. We're going to redo our party, make sure everybody's got some decent equipment, and then we will be...
Gelade.
Oh.
Well done. A formidable fortress in the old style. We don't build them like this anymore, you know. Not by the sea. Too vulnerable to cannons.
You, Pelagina. That is the nicest thing someone has said about our home. Thank you so much. Figures, leave it to the woman who understands military architecture to actually like the place because it's a military fortress. But yes, we will be swapping out our party. Oh, no, not retrain. Where's the... I thought there wasn't... Where is it? Average castle, vulnerable to castle. Oh, castle icon. Oh my god, right. Damn it. So, if we're bringing Haravius, I am willing to leave
Farewell.
Aloth at home because he has we will use Haravius more for his spell casting than we will his melee. I still want Pelagina for our front line, and I kind of still want Zawa, which kind of leaves me no choice but to drop Devil, as much as I've been enjoying having her for her raw damage capability.
If you say so.
So yes, we will bring Haravius and Sagani. We will have Pelagina
Very well.
and Adir as our front line, and we will have Durance and Haravius for our spellcasting. Sagani does have good damage, no denying that. Now let me make sure it didn't fuck up this. It did. It absolutely did. Sagani and Durance in the rear. Haravius can take up a midline position because he is still better at taking a blow than either of them. And Itumak can stay near Haravius to assist. How far is the bow from level up? Probably a ways because we haven't even used it yet. Yeah. Also, Haravius. Go ahead and we will swap out your scepter for the gemstone staff because it is... Oh no, it's a quarter staff. Oh, I thought it was a... Oh, it is a melee weapon. But it has reach. Oh, that's good. Grants Nature's Mark on critical hit once per encounter, which is also very good. -10 deflection, -10 reflex. Always nice. Ah, I bumped my fucking... Okay. So we are going to give that to you. Oh my god, it's huge. It's literally twice his size. Actually, I think Haravius would find that funny because he's literally beating someone to death with a weapon larger than he is. Wizard staffs aren't really a big thing. Yeah, although to be fair, as you said, in an age of gunpowder, I imagine wizard implements being smaller and stealthier would make more sense. If you need something loud, a gun is probably better. If you need something quiet, you want something that's a little bit, you know, on the small side. Wizards, I know they're so, trust me, I know they're so cool. The fact that Skyrim still has horrible fucking staves even after you mod it is one of the worst things I can imagine because I like playing battle mages in that game. Let me see. Haravius, is there anything we can give you? You currently have a shockproofed Jolting Touch Animancer's Boots. Probably the best of what we've got there. You do. +3 Constitution. I actually want to give him a knockdown effect because I feel like knockdown in his beast form would be really good. I always try and play battle mage. No, I refuse to play a stealth archer. I have played a battle mage who opens up every fight by casting a bunch of those rune traps around the area and then aggroing the enemies because that's hilarious. Staffs for wizard. It's Tolkien. It's fucking Tolkien, Sin. It's always Tolkien. Gandalf, Saruman, Radagast, they all have staffs. It's fucking Tolkien. I would be almost willing to put money on it. If in doubt, it has like a 90% chance in modern fantasy that it was Tolkien. You also have unique armor. Yes, we will get to that. I'm going through each of his slots. I want to make sure that he also has a Ring of Deflection +5 and a Arcane Dampener and Intellect +1. I don't think we have anything that beats that. He has a minor Cloak of Protection, which false life maybe? No. Disengagement defense bonus. Constitution +2 might be better. Intellect and Resolve. Intellect actually would work really well on him. He's got quite a few spells after all. Libor came from an ancient culture having spiritual leaders using walking sticks due to age and as a symbol of office. Oh, no doubt. Tolkien himself drew it probably from Nordic myth, but in terms of what codified it in the modern mind, it's Tolkien. It's always fucking Tolkien. Oh, sorry. 90% of the time it's Tolkien, 5% of the time it's C.S. Lewis, and 5% of the time it's actually European folklore. Like undiluted European folklore from hundreds of years ago. 5% melee damage, that's fine. Whispers of Treason, 3 times per rest. Charmed is always acceptable. And immunity to stuck with athletics and dexterity. I don't think we have any other head items that I want to give him. So that should be all of those taken care of. And lastly, there we go. Wayfarer's Hide. Defenses against hobbled, stuck, and paralyzed. Grants Nature's Vigor, which gives an AoE heal once per rest. Has superb damage resistance, and is a faster. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's a druid armor. That's a druid armor. It is Gandalf, and it's You Shall Not Pass. Yeah. Although technically he did print the Hobbit first, and Gandalf already had the staff there and did use it for things. So, still fits. Yes, that was the armor we wanted to give him. That was the weapon we wanted to... Why does it do that when I try to re-equip it? Go ahead and bind the soul. Thank you. Deal 125 damage to beetles? The easy way to level it up is to do damage to beetles? It didn't explode as the mental image until the movies, if that makes sense. See, I'm not so sure about that, honestly, Tenwin, because even before the modern movies, like, D&D always portrayed wizards with staffs, going all the way back to first edition, as did a variety of other pop culture wizards, like, at least all that I can think of. Like, even before the movies came out, Tolkien's effect on fantasy as pop culture is pretty ubiquitous. Now, if you're talking the meme potential, well, of course, because we were just getting into the internet age when the first movies came out for Lord of the Rings, so of course it didn't become a true blue meme. Seems like you got to travel to travel back in time to the 60s. Gotta beat the Beatles. Haravius would hate boy bands, wouldn't he? Haravius seems like the kind of guy who would just despise certain genres of music out of just principle. I love how the staff is so large, it's actually clipping out of the fucking character portrait. I mean, what else would you call them? Like, they're like the prototype of them. Haravius would hate many things. That's the thing with Haravius, though. He would deeply love and deeply hate simultaneously. The things he loves, he absolutely loves. And the things he hates, he absolutely hates. All right, his equipment is all taken care of. Her equipment, actually, we are missing some stuff for her. Did we want the Blide Golan, 50 defense while stunned, 50 defense while proned? Was there anything we wanted to give her armor-wise? I don't think so. No, we want to keep her relatively light. 25% is about the highest I want to go with her. Belt. Do we have a better belt? Constitution. I mean, it's better than nothing. Yeah, we'll go with that. And then a ring. Eternal funding doesn't matter. Suppress affliction. I mean, it's better than nothing. And she's got her stiletto and hatchet, just in case we need some backup weaponry. I think as well, we have an exceptional stiletto. I like her heavy. I like dual wielding with similar weapons. I don't like it when you dual wield different weapons. Boy bands has a very specific meaning. I still think the Beatles kind of fit enough of it that you could either register them as a boy band or at least as the prototype of a boy band. Was there anything else I wanted to give her? I don't think so. She has a built-in restore light endurance 3 times per rest plus perception. Might would probably be better, though. Might is going to be better, yes. Go ahead and improve her damage, please. We still want the Stalker Link bonus. That's still good. Okay. Okay. Yep, I think that's it. Stiletto heals. I have the mental... She would look at those and be utterly baffled that actual people wear that. Let's be honest. All right, drop the ale off. Well, I guess we didn't need these on hand. I'll keep that just in case. The Wodaka hood. I wonder, how does that look? Ooh, it's even got the mask. Cool. I don't even think she'd go that far. Like, stiletto heels would pass the level of just inefficient to just being like, why? All right. Yeah. Everybody ready? Yeah, everybody's ready. Hey, dear. Good to have you back, buddy. You and Pelagina can form the front line once again. Oh, we should probably rest here before we go. You know what? Let's go with... Mechanics would be nice, but we should be out of the way of the stuff that... Oh, Haravius needs to be leveled. Well, let me rest first. Now, we're going to go with Might. I just want more damage. And quite frankly, we've been improving our defenses, and it's still been... Oh. As you sleep, you are buoyed and buffeted by the vagaries of dreams. They tumble and thrash about you, filling your mind's eye with pale, glittering motes. They resolve into a light snowfall and a biting northerly wind. You recognize the mountains of the White March rising around you, and you shiver. You see Stalwart, those many miles to the north, quiet and still, but for a few curling streams of smoke rising from the chimneys. Durgan's battery is perched above it, its shadow stretching into the valley. Above it, you hear a deep, slow rhythm. At first, it sounds like distant drumming, but it grows louder, crackling through the dry air, booming from the mountain peaks. It builds until you hear it reverberating beneath your feet. Listen. Each thud comes louder, comes faster than the next. Thunder echoes down from the mountaintops as great sheets of ice and snow tumble from the slopes, but the rhythm keeps building. It shatters the frozen lakes like crystal saucers. New ravines split through the mountains as old chasms fill with snow and scree. A rockslide buries the town of Stalwart, and Durgan's battery is shaken into rubble. Shadows rise over the mountains. The vanguard of an army. You flee. You tumble from the foothills and bound across the Deerwood, feeling the rumble of the advancing army all the while. Barricade Caed Nua. Caed Nua rises from the forest, its mended walls reaching out to you like a pair of strong arms. You barricade the great hall as the pounding grows closer still. It rattles the foundations of your keep, and just as the masonry begins shaking loose, you hear an unholy battle cry from the courtyard. The ceiling collapses, a cascade of bricks and beams falling upon your head. Even as you struggle to wakefulness, kicking at the bedding, knotting around your legs, as you shake free the last bounds of sleep, you hear a voice whisper something in a language you have never heard. And you see an image of 100 shifting, staring eyes. You awaken, feverishly warm, covered in sweat. We're just going to assume that we have that vision slightly later because it's kind of stupidly funny, the idea that this happens literally one day after we leave Stalwart. Haravius, my dude, we are... I really hate... We're just going to improve his athletics. I just don't like survival anymore. I really don't. I don't see the point. Now, let's see. What spell mastery do we want for him for level 2? Friendly AoE of damage reduction. Certainly not a bad idea. Taste of the Hunt. For hunting, adding raw damage to its attacks and restoring endurance. If we're going to have him as a flanker, that is exceptionally good. Insect Swarm is great as a foe AoE. Old Beasts, pretty, no. Firebrand, not the worst, but not what we want from him. Lesser Blight, summon one of coalescing into a lesser flame, wind, rain, or earth blight. Not really that good. AoE burn damage, Blizzard AoE damage, and Autumn's Decay, corrode AoE damage. Yeah, that's what I figured. I think Taste of the Hunt makes the most sense. It increases his primary attack. It gives him 100% of damage restored as endurance. Well, I mean, if we're going to give him a melee weapon and we're going to have him being used as a flanker kind of melee character, I like this one. Insect Swarm, it's a level 2 spell. If I really need it, I've got enough spell slots for him. I like Taste of the Hunt. If he's going to be a melee... Plus, this is Haravius we're talking about. This definitively sounds like something Haravius would do. He's going to eat our opponents. Ooh, what new spells did he get? Conjure a Greater Blight, nice to see. Guardian of Life, friendly AoE, hastens Barrett's Wheel, causing rejuvenating plants to spring up in the corpses of the fallen and heal allies in the area of effect. That sounds quite good. Rot Skulls, summon the Rot Skull Wand. It doesn't really sound that good. The Sun Lance, that's the one that has straight up just one-shotted us when it's in the form of a trap. I recognize that. And Venom Bloom. Raw damage, accuracy, if successful, poisoned, frightened. Very nice. There is a beautiful but panic-inducing field of poisonous flowers that frighten, weaken, and deal raw damage over time to those in the area of effect. And it's a faux AoE. Very nice. My necromancy is pink and flowery. That sounds exactly like something a Glanfathan druid would argue as their magical source. Oh, I like how the light effect only shows up when you rotate him towards the camera. That's actually kind of cool. All right. And next level, we're just going to improve his athletics again, so he has a heal. Ooh, Greater Wild Strike Burn. I kind of want that. He can't get another free spell, so yes. That is an additional 15% damage as burn. That will give us some fire effect. Very nice, very nice. All right, let us set out. I have no idea where we were going. Right, Hearthsong. I actually think we're close to level 13, aren't we? Are you serious? Stuff to do in Elmshore? Yes, we have the ogre to kill in Elmshore. Are you fucking kidding me? With the representative of the Fisher Crane tribe near the Thean boat. Oh!
Yeah.
Horavius, you're gonna want to hear this. Alright, fine. Sorry, everybody, turn around. Back to Caed Nua. God fucking damn it, game.
Last thing the Deerwood needs is another foreign colony.
Oh, Legina, do me a favor and slap Durance on the back of the head, please. Thank you. Orwin Beralt. Greetings, Lord Sylvani. My name is Beralt. If you have the time, I have an urgent matter I'd like to discuss. I actually like the idea that in full plate, everyone just assumes that Adair is in charge, and then they see my character, and they find out that I'm actually the Lord of Caed Nua. Like classic Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, everybody thinks that Alphonse is the Full Metal Alchemist, and then they find out it's Edward. In my case, it's everyone sees Adair walking around in the fancy plate armor with the sword and shield, and they're just like, ah, yes, the Lord of Caed Nua, and then Adair's just like, yeah, no, that's not me, man. That's not me. I have been tasked with meeting with representatives from the Fisher Crane tribe near Thangbog. It is my hope to come to peaceful terms. Unfortunately, I haven't had much practice with the Glenfathan language, and the Fisher Crane are, by nature, very reclusive. I fear that the circumstances are ripe for a misunderstanding. You yourself, I hear, have had some dealings with the Glenfathans. I would welcome any assistance or advice you may offer. I'll have someone escort you. Are you fucking kidding? Game! The funny thing is, actually, sending Horavius might actually not be a good idea, given the fact that his home tribe, you know, exiled him. No, I know exactly what we can do to kill time, and it shouldn't take too long. Sagani, her experience as a hunter and traveler should serve you both well. Sagani would be 6 fucking days? I thought it would be like 3. What the fuck? Okay, no, I know what we can do. 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 It's time to go on a shopping spree. Shut up, Durance.
Is another foreign colony.
I am not dealing with your shit right now. From Elmshore 6 times. Actually, no, we'll just grab her just to fill out the party. Because as you pointed out, Tenwin, there have been several merchants that have been selling crafting supplies that we never bought from. So we're going to do a quick rundown of some of these crafting things for the next few days until Sagani gets back, and grab all the crafting reagents that we can.
How do you do?
See your wares. Also, you have anything that I might want to have, please? Damage reduction 5 versus Pearson Slash. That's actually not that bad. We'll hold on to that just in case. Bronze horn figurine. Once per rest summons an animat. Oh. We'll take that, and we'll take the lockpicks. Why can't you just put it in our stash? The main thing I want with that... Damage reduction bonuses stack no matter what, Tenwin, right? Like, damage reduction just stacks on top of itself all the time, right? I would think so. At least that's my thought on it. Hold on. Yes, no, that only went up by 2 when I equipped that. So no, something is not adding additional. Yeah, see, it only added the 2 because it's, yeah, no, the damage reduction does not stack. Shame. Admittedly, no, actually 27% crit damage taken is actually better than having just 2 more damage reduction on Pearson Slash. So we'll just hold that there.
Yeah.
Thank you for your assistance. We have lots of money to spend. Okay. The only other merchant in this town is the Black Hound, if I recall correctly. It has been way too long since we've been in Gilded Vale. But yeah, no, 27% reduced crit damage is way better than 2 damage resistance. Show me what you have for sale. All the way to the bottom. Just a whole bunch of shit that I've sold her over the time we've been here. Go ahead and grab the grain, the cheese, the milk, the beer, the ale. Anything that can be actually used on its own. I don't want to buy any food that is already done. This is a library now. It's more than a library. I sold so much shit to her. Yep, alright. Trade. Thank you. Alright, crafting reagents acquired. Yeah, I should do that, shouldn't I, Tenwin? Okay, there is now no reason to return to Gilded Vale for crafting reagents. There was the lady down in Anslog's Compass, who was hanging out at the coast, that we can go... She was a potion brewer or whatever. She should have some ingredients for us. Running through the sand. I sure hope nobody killed her. Yeah, her and Tana are doing just fine.
Stranger.
Let me see your wares. Camping supply. Really? She has none. But we'll go ahead and buy the drugs for our favorite monk. Wow, she actually has... I thought she had way more than that. Alright.
Right.
It's just a few Zarups. Honestly, the Zarups have never given me trouble. You are correct about the wolves, though. We've had issues with them in the past. Magrin's Fork, Easternwood, and Black Meadow did not have any merchants. Neither did Valewood. Did Redrick have anybody selling shit? I don't think he did. Did he? Did they finally get around to repaying Mortimer's Bridge? Or is that still broken? It is still broken. What the fuck? What? He wants to sell us Georg's gloves with our... What? 1 dexterity? 1 dexterity for 3,200 copper pieces. Do we have anybody who would need that? Anyone? That is just a fucking game. I feel like I'm gonna check out the wiki for this game after I'm done playing it and discover that like there are hundreds of better items that I just never discovered because of the randomness of the loot table. Yeah, Azuro leaves the stronghold. Get him the fuck out of here with that. Oh no. Yeah, Barrel. Yeah, we got 2 more days, so let's go ahead and keep... Goose and Fox... I don't think he had any ingredients that wasn't food, so I'd rather focus on the other merchants. Let's head up to the marketplace. I mean, yes, it would take months to repair. We've been doing this for months.
Hello.
Oh, right. Yeah, we should probably deliver the news. I'm afraid that your sister Cora is dead. She... Laura's eyes begin to shimmer with tears. I don't know what to say. I tried to keep my hopes up, but I think part of me already knew. You have the big random ones in my opinion. Really? Like attack speed, magic damage range? I guess. I feel like I'm looking at some of these and it's just, I don't know. I'm looking at some items and then it's just like, I feel like there should be more, but there really shouldn't, because the way they've set up their attribute system, their attributes are way like more important than even a D&D attribute, which constantly needs to be kept up with, like, you know, belts of dexterity and boots of whatever. That doesn't make hearing it any easier, though. She brushes a tear from one cheek. I can't help but think that if someone had looked for her sooner when I first asked for help, then maybe she... I actually think the rational one is better sounding than the benevolent one. In the end, we caught those responsible, and we made sure that they will never do it to someone else. That's what matters now. You're right. She wipes her eyes. I suppose I'll make arrangements. Thank you. Seal of Faith. Oh. Okay, now you see, that's a good fucking ring. That's also a good fucking ring. Summons a Demogorgon once per rest. That's also really good, but I don't want to spend too much money on that. Give me all of your ingredients. Your ingredients. Give me them all. Give me them all. Give me them all. I want them all, please. Thank you. There's that Jasper that we couldn't find on anybody. It's not that the 9 deflection isn't good, it's that it's only really good on people who already have deflection bonuses. There we go, 27,000 copper.
Yeah.
We just single-handedly gave this woman enough money so that she can retire. What do you have? You have traps, lots and lots of traps, a rope and grappling hook. We will never say no to a rope and grappling hook. Ader, what the fuck? Ader, what did... Ader, my dude. Just... You have full run of the pantry back at Caed Nua. Stop taking stuff that I'm going to be using for potential combat, but I probably will forget exists. Ring of Resolve +2, Ring of Oversight. Ooh. Resolve. Resolve. The Resolve is not as good as getting 3 additional spell casts. And we will save Telda's ring for Aloth the next time we have him in the party.
Greetings.
Narmer, show me your wares. You just have food stuff, but we can buy the cheap shit. Why not? Fruits, vegetables, poultry, meat, fish, eggs, rice. I am not paying for that. Fuck you. What? Turrets! I just want it in my stash. I just want it in my stash. Stop grabbing everything, guys. You're making this take longer than it should.
Huh?
And then Igrun is...
Greetings.
Oh. Someone tries to burn the city down. At least I won't be around the next time it happens. Fair enough. The Dunrid Demon. +2 to intellect. On a helmet? That's not bad. And nothing else that I really care about. Here. Really? There's a guy that shows up in Andra's gift only at night? Huh. Osric. Huh, I thought he was a... Oh, no. There's a blacksmith over here. That's who I was thinking of. Show me your wares. Yep, exceptional, fine. Races of all-consuming rage. See, there we go. +2 might, +1 constitution. Although that is a arm slot, and we have a lot of +10% damage boosts. so that's actually not as good. Only usable by barbarian, understandable. Nothing else that I really want then. Wonder how many of the dozens killed innocent people in the riots. Probably a lot of them. Well, actually, no. If what we know about warfare and combat goes for riots as well, or at least similarly, the vast majority of the casualties will have been caused by things like burning down houses and other random acts of violence that aren't directly killing someone. I think it's during World War II, the best numbers they had was that only something like 18% of the bullets actually fired ended up hitting a target that a soldier could confirm, you know, was killing someone. A lot of soldiers just fired their weapons in the general direction and didn't actually kill anyone. It's also a lot harder psychologically for human beings to actually, you know, go up to somebody and stab them compared to shooting them from a distance. Do we have anything from here? Nope, I sold a bunch of bullshit to him before, so there's nothing there. Oh, right, we wanted to wait.
Good day, stranger.
Can I get a room? I need to wait for the evening. Dexterity, survival, intellect, and lore. Athletics, mechanics, and ranged accuracy. Give me the Vixensboro. Admittedly, random acts of arson, as the Devil of Karok can point out, can often cause all sorts of issues. Even if you don't directly kill somebody. Like, literally putting a knife in them to see them die. Like, even if you're not doing that, you can cause all sorts of problems for you and everybody else. Where did you say he was? Northeast of the brothel. Yes, burning up buildings kills people, but the point is that you don't actually see it happen. A person could throw a torch into a building and run away. Psychologically, it has much less of an impact, is what I'm saying. On the person who does the killing, I should say, not on the person who, you know, has to deal with the aftermath. Courtesan... Oh, is this it? A hooded figure leans against the wall. When he notices you draw near, he stands upright and raises his hand to approach you. If you know the words, speak them and we can do business. If not, then we're done speaking. Say what? Okay. I apologize for the implicit... I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. You can't make me. You can't make me try to pronounce that. I don't know how. I'm not even going to pretend. You found it in the back window? Oh God, how long ago was that? I apologize for the unpleasantries. I'm Kern, the Midnight Merchant, as some would say. I deal in sensitive commodities, and precautions must be taken. Now, let us do business. Oh my God, he has everything. Give me it all, I want it all. Give me, give me, give me, give me. Give me it all, every last drop. I do believe, good sir, that you can retire now. Thank you. Alright, now that we're done with that as a fucking selling spree, I might actually be able to do some enchantment later. Holy shit. Let's fall back to Caed Nua. That's kind of all the buying I want to do. I don't want to spend too long on buying. I do want to actually make progress.
Well done. A formidable fortress.
Finished in 25 hours. Okay, let's make a quick run to Deerford then.
Not by the sea. Too vulnerable to...
6k coppers is enough to buy a house in Brackenbury. You gave that guy 5 times as much and bought out his entire stock.
First, your neighbors hound you because you say the wrong prayers at supper time.
If it wasn't that, it'd be something else. Just their way of letting you know they care.
Then some cross-eyed lord gets to stringing up your neighbors.
A couple of them were ones that had been hounding me, so that worked out at least.
I was wondering what those two were going to talk about. I like the idea that of all the people in the party, Ader actually gets along with the ruthless murderer the best, because they're both former followers of Aothas. I mean, don't get me wrong, the devil had a good reason for what she was doing, but still, she willingly burned many people alive, even people who weren't related to the things that had caused her issues.
Good day to you.
Oh, let me see here. Oh, good, you have more. Give me everything you've got that is a ingredient. Thank you very much. All right, we have now gone from 100,000 to 30,000. I don't want to hear anybody bitch about the fact that I have too much money on hand. You've broken the... I pulled a Mansa Musa. I just traveled across the Deerwood, dropping off huge sums of money. I have single-handedly broken the economy of every town that I've gone to.
Is another foreign colony.
Shut up, Durrance. Also, what was that report? Beryl successfully arrived at the Thang Bog, sends his regarding promises to visit your keep again soon. Vicious war criminal has arrived seeking employment. No. You lose me almost as much prestige as my best boy. Why the fuck would I hire you? A piece of bread costs 500 copper. I have single-handedly destroyed the economy. Okay, we have Sagani again. Let's go to Hearthsong. Do not spawn another event in my fortress game, I swear to God. Yes, the vicious war criminal has left the stronghold, preferably via Kograk kicking him out. Oh, why would I do that? What the fuck? Okay, Adair in the front. You over here. Sagani, Durrance in the rear. Yes, okay, good.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Okay, I remember mostly exploring the Celestial Sapling. I remember not going anywhere up here. And we can't go anywhere else out there, I don't think. Okay, I have no idea what we're doing. The Passage of the Six, we'll hold off on that. I want to see the rest of this area first. That is a backer character. I don't care. That is just some bullshit in there. Sells Vithric Brains, good. The Rains have run their course, trade is returned. What's in here? That is nothing. Also, Adair, please remember where we are and keep your mouth fucking shut. Now, who wants to bet we walk into this marketplace and I find items that I actually want and I suddenly don't have enough money to buy them all?
Hail, Estramor.
This tall woman is clad in furred hides. She settles a sharp, dark-eyed gaze upon you. I hold here the best hides in Glanfath. Thick that the Stalgar cannot claw through them, boots supple enough they'll smother the sound of your steps. What's your trade? Shouldn't you make sure Durrance doesn't start calling them catmen? Look, Tenwin, the only thing I can do with Durrance is smack him outside the head after he says it. Warning him does nothing, and you know it. Adair at least wants to be polite, yes, but that just leads to him inserting his own foot into his mouth more commonly. Because he actually thinks that what he's saying isn't stupid. I bear it on my skin. I sell hides from every one of the Gawain's beasts. Estramorn come from every village to see them, and know us to be great hunters. Every hide bears the tale of a great hunt, and our traders bear them in turn to every corner of our lands. May I see your wares? Then here, look upon the bounty our hunters provide. Exceptional hide armor, various hide armors, and traps. Damn, I was really hoping for something else, but okay. Durrance, leave that alone. That's Zawa's personal stash. I already know that you don't use it. You just get drunk. Darwin. I see that you have heard it. A good blade has a voice and sings to its wielder. What weapon called you forward? Tell me of your craft. My weapons speak for themselves. Every man and woman in this market knows my worth, even that Tamra. I bear the knowledge my father held and my mother before him. Take up one of my blades, you hold a weapon 5 generations in the making, Derwin snorts. They say I should not waste time with such fine weapons on Estramorn. I say a good weapon lying on a rack is a true waste.
Hail,
I mean, I wanted to see your wares, so I don't know why you kicked me out of that. A unique one-handed club. 20% of damage restored to his endurance. Not bad. Fast attack speed. Also very nice. Could be useful as another weapon that Adair could use as a frontliner. Also gives +4 accuracy when attacking the same target as an ally, and 25% additional damage when attacking the same target as an ally. Not bad. Superb quality, too. It's only 7,000 fucking copper. Starcaller gets 30% of grazes converted to hits. Gives a Minoleta's minor missiles on critical hit. That's actually pretty good. Actually, that's really good. on a critical hit. Damn, if I was actually doing a crit hit build on my main character, that would actually be really fucking good. And strike hard. Attack speed for a one-handed warhammer. And then a whole bunch of other things. Exceptional small shields, fine large shields. Oh, unique armor. +3 resolve. Oh, that's actually pretty good. And then some exceptional armors and +2 to perception. Huh. Interesting. All right, nothing I really want, but still. Food for your travels? Tell me of your trade. My life is simple and makes a poor tale. I tend the gardens and my herd. My family picks the delicious fruit that you see behind me, and the gods have been kind. There was a unique armor you skipped over? I don't think there was. Also, since we're going to be buying ingredients, I see no reason, since these are fairly cheap. There we go. Yeah, 110 copper. Don't mind buying that at all. Just put it in my fucking What the fuck, game? Just put it in the stash. There's no reason to put it in my inventory. Just put it in the stash. Shift click. Thank you. I keep forgetting that. Really?
Builder's wisdom to you.
Oh, there is. Medium armor, 45% recovery speed, so it should be a heavy armor with that level of recovery speed loss. +1 endurance per 3 seconds, which is the same as a regeneration belt, and exceptional level quality. It's alright.
Sure.
Welcome, Estremor. A young girl looks about the market with a disinterested gaze, but as you near, she snaps to attention and straightens her posture. Ilari's not here, so I'm running the shop while she's away. She glides her hands in front of the display cases of poultices and remedies. You look for herbs, tinctures, oils, or ointments. We've got everything you'll ever need. Are we looking for Ilari? I don't remember. We're going to ask anyways. Oh, she lives not far from here. The little girl points with the excitement to the exit of the market. Climb up the stairs, and at the top, there's a circle of ruins. It's on the north side of Hearthsong. Her house is there. The door faces the ruins. I'd also like to see your wares. Karogoan. That's a focus gain, so that's actually useless because I'm not going to use that on Zawa. Don't really need any of those. We did just buy a whole bunch of diamonds. Diamonds are good because those are actually needed for a lot of fucking shit. I'll leave the rest though until we make some more money. I want to get back up a little bit higher before I start going on a buying spree again.
What brings you here?
You have the look of a hunter, Estremor. Derwin's weapons may protect the man who seeks out misfortune, but my supplies will help you survive in the wilds. Hey, he's got guns. Oh, he's got a... Oh. 4 DR bypass. 20% of graze is converted to hits. Inflicts disorientation for 5 seconds on hit. That's not a chance. That's just inflicts disorientating for 5 seconds on hit. Oh. Durance, I think we might have found a new weapon for you. Oh, but that's a lot of money. Still, something to keep in mind. He's got Fine Arquebus, Talontaine Staff. Grants Fireball 3 times per rest. Not bad. Dragon Egg. Fuck that. And some other things. And a... Summons a Widowmaker and 2 Widowmaker Spiderlings once per rest. Also not bad. Very expensive though. Weapon actually just... It's Durance who does the disorientating. Okay. Well, now that we know what's in here... As I said, we're going to go make some more money before we go on another spending spree. We bought a lot of shit. And besides, we've only destroyed the economy of 2 towns and a single city. Soon, once we have enough money, it's time to destroy Twin Elm's economy too. The Road Warden who saved the realm and also simultaneously destroyed its fucking economy. Oh. A tabby cat snaps out of its placid stupor as you approach. It opens its eyes wide, following your every step before trotting to your side and rubbing against your leg. Free pet! Free pet! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We have 11 pets. I wish all of them could be following me right now. Huntress, Stalgar. Let's see what else we got here. The pedestal shadow creeps around the dais. Okay. Yeah, we can't go anywhere there. That is stealing. And that is somebody's home. A cat walked up to me and I just picked it up. The government doesn't want you to know this, but the cats in Glanfath, they're just free. I have 3 cats already. One of them is undead. Don't pay attention to that. Oh, I can't help but notice that I've come to talk to this merchant and they are completely surrounded by a whole bunch of people who look like they want to kill me. Okay. Okay. Oh, hold on. Just in case. Adir, if you'd be so kind, go ahead and stand right there. Pelagina, go ahead and stand right there. I'm going to stand over here.
Ready, watcher.
Sagani, Itumak, Aravius, and Durance right in the middle so that he can take a good shot at anybody he wants. So, an old elven woman stands tall and proud, surrounded by a group of Glenfathan warriors that already study your every move. You speak on Renato's behalf, I presume. I knew he would convince someone to do his bidding. I did not expect it would be an Estremor involved in all the chaos at Defiance Bay. She tilts her head to the side and blinks slowly. Does the presence of my armed entourage concern you? You were expecting a defenseless shopkeeper, am I right? Alari raises her dye-stained hand just as one of her guards begins to move forward. Still, she barks at her attendant. Give the Estremor a chance to speak. We are not dear wooden beasts. Here, hospitality reigns. Alari nods to you, holding up an open hand, her palm and fingers covered in blue and green dyes. Envoy of the Valian, speak your message that you were sent to deliver. First, I want to hear your side of the story. The first step of any sensible path, she muses, scratching at her chin. Before they can do much, I don't like taking chances, Tenwin. Plus, I'm pretty sure that's a druid in the back, and I'm not taking any chances with a fucking druid. Never again. Renato purchased from me several bushels of Elard Gola, and for it, he paid a high price, but did so willingly, saying it was a bargain, right as he handed me his copper. It was after our trade that the Valian spit his venom. Alari's voice begins to grow angry. Renato accused me of trickery, of fraud, claiming I delivered withered likenesses of Elard Gola and not the genuine root. The nerve. In truth, he is beyond the help of Elard Gola. She holds a blue-dyed finger in the air before curling it down slowly, smiling as she does. Renato's old bow isn't firm enough for a full draw, and no amount of Elard Gola will give him the spear of a young hunter. So we're dealing with fantasy Viagra. A fair deal was made. Only now Renato objects, angry that his withered family plow is beyond herbal remedies. She shakes her head, her voice becoming a growl. I have never sold anyone a remedy I knew to be false, and if Renato does not silence his slanderous tongue amongst our people, we will do it for him. Very fun comparisons. I am enjoying the Glenfathan use of language here. It's quite good. What kind of punishment did you have in mind for Renato? He has slandered his host. He is no longer a guest. The merchant must vanish from Twin Helms. She crosses her arms under the sleeves of her robe. But Glenfathan hospitality will be observed. He is to be given a chance to leave on his feet before he bleeds upon his back. Deliver in our name a formal warning. Tell Renato that if he does not leave, he will be accused of conspiring to pilfer Engwithan relics from our lands. He will not risk a trial by the Council of Anamfatha. Alari draws a small wooden cage from the folds of her robes. If he will not listen, tell him that his faulty member will end in a cage just like this black beetle. Food for our birds. Shit. I guess I need better positive. Fine. I will deliver the message. Return to me when the Valian has left Twin Elms, one way or the other.
Of course.
Okie dokie. That's all stealing. Can't do anything there. Protocol's a lovely pallet of straw. The hide blankets are surprisingly soft. Okay. You could probably have her convinced to forgive, but yeah, I mean, at this point, I would need a way higher reputation, and something tells me we are a long way from that with the Glenfathans. Yeah, we are completely neutral with Twin Elms. We need reputation level 4 just... We only needed reputation level 2 to convince government officials in Defiance Bay to talk to us. We need a 4 just to convince one Glenfathan to not want to murder somebody. I mean, we'll get there in time, I'm sure, but... that's a long way off right now.
Well met, friend.
Oh, first let me see what you have for sale. Oh. Oh, you actually do. If you're going to be leaving, I do want to get this then. I don't want to lose out on any crafting reagents. Thank you kindly. There, I gave you 2,000 gold. Will you leave? Or 2,000 copper. Will you leave now?
How do you do?
Laurie gave me this beetle in a cage for you. She said your problem would end in the same place if you continue to harass her within Twin Elms. Renato's face turns bright at the sight of the gift. That insufferable witch, she can shove that beetle in her fetid mating hole. Gesticulating with every word, spit flies from Renato's mouth as his voice grows louder. Her and her face-painting thugs will pay for this insult. He reaches out to strike the cage from your hand. I wouldn't do that. Renato swings at the cage but strikes your forearm instead. The trapped insect falls harmlessly to the ground. Renato turns to face you, his face flush with rage. Maldito! The Valian merchant shouts at the top of his lungs. Savage, filthy animals, this damnable city will burn! You hear a whistling sound from nearby. I would kill you! Renato's voice gurgles mid-sentence. The tip of an arrow, gleaming red, protrudes from the man's throat. The merchant quivers in a quick spasm, flailing his arms. He drops to his knees, spurts of blood flowing down his chest. You look up and notice a single Glenfathan archer approaching the scene. Well, I tried. It's not our custom to tolerate squabbles between the Estromorwen. The huntress begins to turn around, but her face lingers in your direction, the faint semblance of a smile crossing her lips. I'm sure you understand. Before you can reply, she walks away, moving with confident strides. Renato's arms twitch in a final spasm as the merchant expires in a bloody, crumpled heap. Well, thanks for the exceptional blunderbuss, the Valian clothing, the cloth bandana, and the 6 copper owled. Dumbass. So, Pelagina, I'm beginning to think that the Glenfathans have not had a very good first impression of the Valians. I'm just gonna go out on a limb and assume that. You might be having to deal with a serious uphill battle as far as negotiations go. You are welcome in our hearth. What news do you bring? Renato won't trouble you anymore. He's dead. Dead? Ilari's eyebrows raise and her posture stiffens. I am not surprised given his behavior thus far, but the death of a Valian merchant could bode poorly for trade. She reaches into her robes, producing a small pouch. Still, the matter is settled. Renato will no longer darken our market. Here is payment for services rendered. Travel safely, Estromor. Can we talk to her some more? Nope. Okay. Well, that's dealt with. Yeah, his own fault. Like, what fucking dumbass? How do you travel to Air Glenfath, and you know that these people have a reputation for, shall we say, dealing with those who are not hospitable to them, and then you decide to just start openly, hostilely screaming about how you want their city to be burned to the ground around them because of how they've slighted you. What is that quote? I think it's from the writer of Conan the Barbarian or something like that. And it's like, or it's a historical quote. I can't remember. It's something like civilized men have gotten far too used to knowing that they won't be punished for saying uncivilized things. Like, Jesus Christ. Seeds and husks have been scattered across the floor. Ooh,
steady does it. I've got it. Finished.
Don't mind me. I'm not going to take anything. Flask of war paint. Oh, that's a new one. And rubies.
Builder's wisdom to you.
Welcome to my home, Estromor. I am Lency, healer and guide. What brings you here? Tell me about yourself. The locals call me Wise Woman, a term of respect, I'm sure, but it does make me feel my years. I am an herbalist and healer. I spend most of my time caring for the ill, helping with the delivery of children, and making remedies for those in pain. I like your songbird. Does it have a name? He does. She blushes, but I ought not to have let my friend's daughter name him. The name is long and rather silly. The short version is Beaker. She rolls her eyes and smiles. The next bird I have will be named after an Anantha. I have no idea what we were doing in here. The edge of the shelf is daubed with bird lime. Yep. All right. Okay. Casually just walks into the home. To be fair, she seemed to have been perfectly okay with it, so, you know. So, yeah, Glenfathan home, We haven't... we do need to go to the Passage of the Six. But there is one more home down here that I don't know if we went in or not. Did that even get us above neutral? It did not even get us above neutral. We have so much work to do. Okay, you know, that one's locked up. Celestial Sapling. I don't think we have anything else. Seek audience with the Anamfath in the Passage of the Six. Yep, I remember that. Seek information about the army in Stalwart. Got to do that later. Abbey of the Falling Moon. The Deerwooden Expedition to the Northwold Wilderness. We haven't gotten that to yet. Help marshal forward and raise an army. Oh, sorry about that. There is a siren going off outside, so I hope that doesn't get picked up by the mic. Sorry, I was confused there for a moment because it started picking up the noise. Druid who knows more about the Autumn Stilgar. Can't do anything about that. Pelagina and her diplomatic mission. Discover the importance of the dream. Cragholt to investigate the conflict. Sagani, the forest from the latest vision. The Endless Pass, the ruins, Durance, and... oh no, that one's already completed. And then lastly, Bounty on Nalrind the Wise. Alright, let's go talk to the Anamfath. Oh, no, that counts as stealing. We're not going to bother with that. Hello, hello, everyone. Let's try not to cause a diplomatic incident. Oh, who's talking? Oh, Haravius. Keepers, compass, cranes, stalgars, arrows, brambles. In this hall, all 6 of the Glenfathan tribes come together as one, or at least tradition suggests that we try to behave as one. Ah, so even the Glenfathans have to deal with politics. The twice-split arrows, the 3-tusk stalgar, the fisher crane, the stone bramble, the keepers of the stone, and the gilded compass. That's really weird. So you've got hunting implements, various animals and animal body parts, keepers of the stone, which is obviously a reference to the Ingwithan ruins, and then a compass. That one of these things is not like the other. One of these things doesn't belong.
Wait.
Oh.
I don't know if I should go through with this. Make the trade deal with the Anamenfath.
Pelagina holds out her arm before you enter the hall.
If a Vailian deal with the Glenfathans weakens the Deerwood, it could mean war for the Republics in the future.
What other option do you have?
I could put the idea in the Anamenfath's head that the Republics are not interested in exclusive trade, but limited trade of goods that they do not already trade with the Deerwoodens.
Morally, I feel like it would be the right thing to do. Right now, the Deerwoodens are at the mercy of the Republics thanks to Widewind's legacy, and many of them don't even know it. Your actions today could prevent further suffering once the Deerwoodens start to get back on their feet with the legacy over. Oh, that's a dragon skull.
Another Estramore. What do you want?
A middle-aged Orlan woman stands at the back of the longhouse, an expression of irritation on her narrow features. As you approach, she takes a defensive step towards you. Sagani leans in. Careful. This woman's young for an elder, and looking to prove herself, I think. I'm looking for another Estramore who passed through the city.
You Estramoran are given the freedom of our sacred city. That you ask for this person is suspicious. There are reasons we don't let you Estramoran roam our sacred city. Reasons I am coming to understand.
A scowl creases her round face. I see you're having some kind of trouble then. Perhaps I could help. She shakes her head. I am afraid not.
Looters have grown bolder at the sites of the builders. The people of Defiance Bay set fire to their own city. And every week, the 3-tusk Stelgar bring news of more desperate settlers pushing at our borders, trying to escape their plague of Anolfane children.
Suddenly you feel the presence of another being in the hall. The Anamfath continues to glare at you, but something has stepped out of her skin and reaches out to you.
Permitting more strangers the freedom of the city is out of the question right now. Go and be thankful that Anamfath Shimak doesn't sit in the passage of the Six today. He would not be so kind as I.
I think the leaden key has done something to this woman. Oh. Oh. Vision of an Orlan man appears near Bethel. He has the same green-brown fur and hazel eyes as she does. Help me reason with them. He points behind you. Turning, you see the ghostly shape of 5 other Anamfatha, another Orlan with tawny fur and a scarred face, a frowning dwarf, a black-furred Orlan, and 2 elves. Who's the other Orlan? He looks just like you. A scowl creases the face of the Anamfath. Is this your idea of a joke? Your kind have no sense of subtlety. The spectral Orlan takes another step from her, setting his foot down with a slow, heavy motion. Tendrils of essence strain between them, and he grimaces and leans forward as if struggling against a veil. The angry Anamfath winces. War! The spectral Orlan's voice is a rasping croak. They are headed for war! You must remind them of Ferwelt's warning. Does Ferwelt's warning mean anything to you? Ferwelt's soul image gasps. Taut threads of essence begin to tug at him, drawing him back towards the Anamfath. He looks up at you again. I tried to tell them. The Builder's souls have touched even the Estramoran.
You'd better explain yourself.
The 2 attending tribesmen look from the Anamfath to you, their sword hands ready, her slitted pupils narrow. The Builder's souls have touched even the Estramoran.
There's no way you could have known this saying. Not unless you are a Galuth on Anams, a watcher of souls.
She gasps as the last of Ferwelt's soul fades back in. Ferwelt's. Oh, okay, yeah, right. The W is an O sound, or an U sound. Ferwelt's soul fades back into her. The tribesmen begin to gape at you. She takes another step forward as she speaks. Yes, I am a watcher. She nods. That explains much.
Ferelt's warning came before the Broken Stone War. Ferelt, my ancestor on my mother's side, was Anamfath of our tribe then. When the Estramoric farmers defiled the Builder's monuments, Ferelt urged the other Anamfatha to patience, but louder, angrier voices prevailed.
She folds her clawed hands in front of her and gazes down at them.
Ferelt believed that the invaders could be taught to respect the Builders as we do. He also believed the Builders' souls had spread to all peoples, and that we should avoid needless conflict with others. More practically, he worried that a violent response would only spur further bloodshed across the generations, and you can see where we are today.
I mean, it didn't happen, but at least it's nice to know that there were at least some non-violent voices on the side of the Glenfathans, just as there were at least some among the sides of the Dyrwood. Of course, neither of them got listened to, and that's a whole other problem, so, you know. After 2 wars with the Dyrwood, it would seem that his warning is more relevant than ever.
While Ferelt's words were shrewd, they were ignored back then. Simply remembering his warning now will not undo the wars and the changes that the years have seen. There is blood on these stones, and that is all anyone remembers now.
She presses her mouth into a thin line as she speaks. An image of a polished Adra cube flashes suddenly in your mind. There is writing on the side, but the image is too faint for you to read. The Anamfath turns away from you and looks at the ground, gnawing on a pointed claw upon her hand. We cannot change the past, but that means that our choices now matter all the more. She looks at you sadly. Yes, and that is the problem.
Another Estramor came through here a few days ago and, well, letting him through was a mistake. One I am eager not to repeat. The Guided Compass tribe has a reputation for being too soft with Estramoran. One that will not be improved by my failure to stop this man who has desecrated our most sacred sites.
This sounds like the man that I came here to stop.
I won't repeat a mistake in my haste to correct it. We bar twin elms from Estramoran to protect the ancient places that the Builders left behind. The Builders left this heritage to us to defend, but they alone had access to it. On this much, at least the 6 tribes agree.
Suspicion creeps back into her eyes as she speaks. You again see the polished Adra cornerstone in your mind. This time the image is clearer. Each face of the stone is inscribed with a phrase you know by heart. You feel your lips begin to form words. A gift from the builders of civilizations to the guardians of their legacy. May the guardians watch the door, while the builders keep the key.
These were the words given to the keepers of the stone.
Bethel stares back at you, her tiny pointed teeth visible through her gaping mouth. I know.
Very well. The city is yours to explore. Tell the guard at the gate that you come to see the cornerstone with the blessing of the guided compass. If the gods have truly returned one of the builders to us, find the Delimgon of Ter Everon in Elm's Reach. If the gods have sent you here with a purpose, the Delimgon will know.
In the meantime, I shall be here to assist you. What are the 6 tribes exactly? Glenfathan society is divided into tribes, which are further divided into clans. Each tribe united by a particular history or way of life, and the clans are communities of families that continue to live together. In truth, there are far more than 6 tribes, but the 6 largest have traditionally led all the others. Each of the 6 has a seat here in the Passage of the 6, where we discuss matters of common interest. You saw, for instance, in your soul sight, the debate that occurred shortly before the Broken Stone War. She gives you a hesitant look. The 6 tribes are the Keepers of the Stone, the Fisher Crane, the 3-tusked Stalgar, the Stone Bramble, the Twice-split Arrow, and of course, the Guided Compass. Tell me of the Keepers of the Stone. They are the first and oldest of the 6. When they first sailed to Glenfath, they met the builders who gave them the cornerstone, and the words you quoted as a token of friendship. I still don't think that the builders were very friendly with the Glenfathans. I am not even going to lie, I don't think their history was nearly that good. Many of the tribes, even among the 6, look to the Keepers for guidance and leadership. Their long history grants them a place of honor even amongst the high tribes, though it has also made them more conservative, in my observation. What can you tell me of the Fisher Crane? A largely Orlan tribe from the Thanebog. Most of the sites they guard are half buried in the wetlands, and even the other tribes could not tell you where they are. Rewriting history? Well, not necessarily rewriting history, but much of it being lost over time. Plus, if they eventually did gain control of this region after the Engwithans left, or disappeared, or killed themselves, or whatever, it doesn't do them any good to remember the worst aspects of that when their entire society has been rebuilt around protecting the builders' monuments. I mean, it's hard to build a society when it's built entirely on the idea of, oh yeah, this ancient people that we claimed helped us actually were horrible and evil and everything we know is a lie. It's kind of hard to build an entire civilization off of that. Kinda hard. They are not the most renowned of the tribes, but they are the cleverest and the subtlest, most subtle. Say what you will about the berserkers of the 3-tusked Stalgar, I'd rather face them than the Fisher Crane ambushes any day. They are named after the long-necked bird that lives in the bog, that can stand motionless for hours, waiting for a muck frog or a spotted salamander, but when it strikes, it is faster than anything. What of the 3-tusked Stalgar? She laughs and shakes her head. Same as everyone. They are fearless maniacs, and they want everyone to know it. They are considered the most wild, even by Glenfathans. Many of their territories have always seen the greatest amount of conflict with the Estramoran, and they will never forget this. They don't want anyone else to, either. They inflicted and bore some of the heaviest casualties in the wars with the Estramoran. In fact, there was a rift within the 3-tusked Stalgar after the War of Black Trees. Dozens of clans broke away from their ravaged lands, and retreated further into the Deerwood, joining whichever tribe would take them. The Broken Tusks, some call them. The majority of the tribe dug into the half-burned forest to hold the line, and despite their failure, many respect them for it. She frowns uneasily. They've more than earned their place amongst the Six, but they advocate more conflict than I feel is wise, and too many are quick to idolize them solely for their valor in battle. What of the Stone Bramble? They are mostly dwarves who came out of the White March, the younger of the tribes, formed over the years by the trade routes between the wilds and the mountains. They see themselves as genuinely Glenfathan, though, and none can gainsay them. Only fisher cranes defend sites in such inhospitable territory. Personally, though, I think it's gone to their heads. They like to think the rest of us have it easy in the lowlands, forgetting that the wars with the Estremoran never reached their mountains. Still, they came to our aid during them. They're named for a tough, thorny, small plant that grows in the mountainsides, and it suits them. I don't think I've ever heard of the Twice-Split Arrows. Not many are. They're traditionally the outcasts and exiles from all the other tribes. In truth, they are probably the least respected of them all, but our ancestors believed they should have a voice, and so they received a seat among the Six. Most of the other tribes see them as scavengers and bottom feeders, but never say that to a Twice-Split Arrow. They think themselves survivors and are as proud of their tribe as anyone else. They will accept anyone, and I suppose there is virtue in that, she shrugs. You never know what you're getting with them, though. Some clans will rob you blind, others will slaughter a lamb for the honor of your visit. What class is your watcher? I am playing a Cypher, because I liked the idea of a spellcasting, having a nice combination of spellcasting and actual melee competency and stuff like that. And I didn't realize just how capable Melee Wizard is in this game after seeing all of the spells so far. Jesus Christ, if you really wanted to, you could build a straight-up Magic Knight and not have a single goddamn problem. You mentioned that your tribe was the Gilded Compass, correct? Indeed. We are on the younger side of the tribes and not one of the most prestigious. We have tried to keep peace with the Estremoran since their arrival, which has earned us the reputation of appeasers among the hardliners in the Three-Tusked Stalgar and the Keepers of Stone. But we value our heritage as Glenfathan. We recognize that the Estremoran are here to stay. The way we see it, we can better follow our mandate to protect the places of the Builders by making peace with our neighbors. There has been some good Cypher dialogue. It usually shows up a lot with the Watchers stuff too. That's partially also why I wanted that, because I did know a little bit about the Watchers from having played this game years ago when I played through basically the tutorial, and I figured that Cypher just seemed like a natural fit with how this story goes. I'd like to know more about you. I am the Anamenfath of the Gilded Compass, and like many Anamfatha, I have leadership in my blood. Tribal authority is not strictly hereditary. We believe that strong leaders can impart a portion of their soul to their children and grandchildren, meaning that Anamfatha may succeed from a single line for many generations. She worries a sharpened thumbclaw. Of course, with all that has happened here lately, I've wondered whether my family's line is going to come to an end with me. I actually don't want to bring this up yet until we have a more positive reputation with the rest of Erglanfath. Because right now, we are at faintly good. I want to get that up a little bit higher before we start having to talk about the Vailian Republic's issues and stuff like that.
Estremor?
Oh, this person is named. Sensing your approach, an agitated elven hunter suddenly drops his conversation and turns to face you. What kind of courtesy have you learned in your filthy homeland? A red stripe of paint gleams, pearly with sweat from cheekbone to cheekbone. We speak Glenfathan matters, be gone. The huntress in the group, however, raises a calloused hand. Still your heart, Radai. Do not forget where you stand. She parts the fine strands of golden hair that float before her face and acknowledges you with a nod. In the house of our ancestors and the 6 tribes, we commune as one. Radai looks away and fumes in a restrained breath. The ancestors will forgive me and my brother when I clean the shame from his name. He looks at the huntress, and from the taint it has brought our tribe. What tribe do you belong? Radai's voice swells with pride, for a moment holding his anger at bay. We are the Keepers of the Stone. He lets the name reverberate in the hall. We're the first tribe. Our history runs across the ages to the time of the first builders. The huntress nods. We are one with the past, traditions, and history. The best crafts and hunts come from our kin. Other tribes look up to our prowess. They are consumed by envy. Radai frowns. That is why Arthwin, lies about my brother. His tribe has no history, no glory. Now he claims it for the twice-split arrows while we're left to bear a false shame. What happened to your brother? Give me the whole story. My brother. The hunter's heavy breathing pauses for a moment. My brother Fjorm is the greatest hunter of our tribe. He set out on a blood hunt and has not yet returned, and now Arthun, that puny liar, he claims that my brother... Radai clenches his fist. The elven huntress fills in the silence. Arthun belongs to another tribe. He's a hunter that competed against Fjorm during their blood hunt. She gives a glancing look at Radai. Arthun claims that Fjorm has exiled himself, choosing not to return to the Twin Elms. Radai scowls. His stripe of paint curves like an angry wound across his face. Exiled in shame for losing to him during the blood hunt. Could you believe this liar? Even though Arthun returned with the giant Stelgar's Fang as proof, it's hard to believe that Fjorm would have failed to kill the prey first. The huntress digs her heel in the dark soil. But you have no proof to claim that, Radai. Not until the Anamfatha judge the truth. Arthur's weak, from a low-born tribe. Radai bares his teeth. He lies. I'll find the truth and clean my brother's name. Back up. You mentioned a blood hunt. What is that? We prove our worth in the blood hunt. We set out to stalk and prey. Always a dangerous creature, and only one kills it first. The elven huntress interrupts with an exacerbated sigh. Yes, but we hunt as pairs. To bond, as Glenfathan, as one, not as enemies. 2 hunters, 2 tribes, 1 spirit. That is the way. Radai glowers in response. Our way isn't to lie. We wouldn't betray our brothers and sisters for our own gain. Oh, boy. Radai, I think you've drunk the Kool-Aid a little bit if you think nobody in the Air Glanfath has ever lied to one another. Like, don't get me wrong, I get you want to believe that. I get that you have a very strong sense of pride in that, but come on, man. Please don't be an idiot. The blood hunt between your brother and Arthun has broken the communion of our tribes, Radai. Do not dig into this wound till you can claim the truth. She turns again to face you. I am sure our customs appear strange to you, but despite what you see now, we Glenfathans hold such bonds sacred. What reason would Arthun lie about your brother? Radai throws his arms in the air. Why? He looks at you as if the answer were obvious. Radai, still your anger. He knows not our custom. The huntress turns to you again and nods. Arthun stands much to gain from claiming a victory over Fjorm. It brings renown and glory to his kin, the lesser tribe, Twice-Split Arrows. Arthun has no history, he has no name, and now he returns a hero while my brother... Radai's face twists in ire and anger. Tricked, perhaps worse. What were you going to do to clear your brother's name? A bead of sweat rolls down Radai's forehead and hangs from his red-painted cheekbone like a drop of blood. It quivers at the hunter's muscles twitch. I shan't tarry here while my brother's fate remains unknown. The Anamfatha must let me go. To judge Arthun and clear the tribe's name, they cannot listen only to your truth. The huntress lowers her head, glancing at you again. Before the Anamfatha, only an impartial voice can speak for what happened. Radai whips his neck around and the drop of sweat lingering on his cheekbone flies in your direction. You mean to involve this one? An Estromor? She points at him, her calloused finger curved like a claw. Listen to me now. Arthun returned with proof. Your brother did not even come back. The huntress blows against the fine hairs floating down over her face. The tribes are split. Something must be done. She looks at you, and this one is known to speak the truth. As an Estromor, I can look into this without risking tension between your tribes. I will do everything I can to find the absolute truth of the matter. Radai turns to face you, his hard features betraying no emotion, but he finally nods. You are right to claim this. The Anamfatha would agree to listen, for there is no union between you or any of our tribes. The huntress nods at you. Fjorm and Arthun went to the Northweald Forest beyond the Old Song Pass. They hunted a great Stelgar. Search there. Return to us with the truth if you can, but be aware. Stelgar are such size, many times over their lesser kin, usually gather a large pride that will follow them closely. Radai fixes his eyes upon you, 2 glowing embers over the blood-red stripe painted across his face. Estromor, I do not expect help. But I will do anything to know of my brother's fate and to clean the stain that Arthun has spilled upon our tribe. He throws his chin back.
Anything. This I claim.
Okay. Anybody else?
Hail, Estremor.
Oh. I listen, foreign. What are you talking about?
News from beyond, east of the great river, the Deerwood. Fires have returned to the foreigner's city, we heard. Defiance Bay waters run foul and dense with the stench of corpses. Not even the recent floods could wash away the stain of corruption. Dying prey. Some see it as such among us, chance to strike. Others not so. Only the Council of Anamfatha can decide what the 6 tribes must do as one.
What is your take on the council?
Anamfatha lead the tribes, one of each. They speak with the spirit of our peoples and act in our name, with our will. The Council of Anamfatha means the tribes commune as one. No common will is found just now, when the Deerwood ails like a wounded beast. Only 2 Anamfatha currently shelter within the Twin Elms, the rest attend their tribes. They must return and hold council. Too far, too consumed with duties, the Anamfatha will not gather soon. Another season at least, and so we wait. Until then.
What can you tell me about this building?
It is the hearth of all Glanfathans of all 6 tribes. We honor our people here in this passage. Offerings made, symbols of respect to each. It is the house of ancestors and our people at once. Anamfatha, when all of them are present in Twin Elms, form the council at the end of the passage. From there, our history moves.
Oh, okay. I like the Glanfathans. In truth, I actually do. It's a very interesting take on a culture of their style. And a very interesting take on the whole druidic style traditions.
This elder of yours.
Oh, dear
may
God.
have returned a drunk or an invalid.
Maybe. But the search for Persoc is just as important as what I find.
Is that right? And what if you return empty-handed, huh?
I never return empty-handed.
Durance, how about you just look at it as a trial and how the trial itself is more important than the endpoint? You know, that thing that you railed at me for like an hour the last time we talked, okay? Shut up. Jesus Christ, I figured Sagani would be like the one person Durance could actually get somewhat along with, given that her whole shtick is basically a trial that she's having to endure and come out stronger on the other side for. But no, even with her, he doesn't have a fucking clue what to say that doesn't involve insulting her. Oh. Hi.
Do not try my patience, Estremor. You do not pass without permission of the Anamfatha. I have come to see the cornerstone with the blessing of the Gilded Compass. The guard scowls and looks at his companion, who nods back. He turns to you once more, knuckles whitening around the shaft of his spear. Always too cozy with Estremor. Go then, mind your step around our sacred stones.
Yes, yes, we will be careful. I'm really am trying to help here. We'll start with Elm's Reach. Durance starts talking. Oh my god, the quintessential spirit pillars experience. That does seem to be the case. Oh god, Durance, shut up. Shut up. I want to know more about your character, but by god, you are aggravating. Is this just a house? Yes, it is. Durance has got to be one of the best examples of, I love this character, but in universe, everyone hates him. That's just food. That's just... What's that? Huh. No, we've read that. Random tribeswoman. Nothing else is happening here. Some money. Okay. Want to head into the big tower early as there's a bunch of quests in there that is located around Twin Elms. Oh, okay. Tir Evron, the Twin Elms, the Golden Grove, some Glenfathan homes, and the Hall of Warriors. Nope, nobody named over there. Okay. Let's see what else we can find. That's just some food. Twin Elrond is a big tower. Doesn't appear that there's... Hello? Ooh. Plus 10 defense against all spells, plus 2 athletics. Damage resistance of 7. Starlit Garb. Interesting. Hold on. Go into stealth just to make sure. Now grab it. There's supposed to be a vendor that sells like 5 5th brains. Oh, that's good to know. Bleda specifically? Okay. And nothing else of value in here. Oh, wow. We've actually got 6 viewers according to OBS's Twitch statistics. Very nice. Very nice. Honestly, kind of shocked. It's a Monday stream. Usually those are a bit lower. I have to worry about my average viewer count dropping again. Thanks for everybody to showing up. Thank you very much. We've got... Oh, shit. We've only got about 30 minutes left. Fuck. I need to keep up the pace. Okay, that's all stealing, so we're not going to even bother with that. I don't need to know what's in there. So, Golden Grove, Hall of the Warriors. Let's go over to the Hall of the Warriors first. Ooh. What is that? Blood moss. More Stilgar. More warriors. What's up, everybody? Don't mind me. Oh, that's just money. Hello, you're named. That's when I pierce the... Wait a second. Arthwin. Oh, hello. A lanky hunter grooms his stubble, a patched fuzz of blonde hairs, while listening attentively to a young elven woman. She whispers in his reddened ears and giggles. With his head still lowered, he flashes a wide smile in return. The hunter notices you. He clears his throat, straightening his back, and adopting an air of dignity. Ah, I've been expecting you. My tribesmen have told me that you would speak the truth about Fjorm's exile. He combs his sparse stubble, darting a glance at the elven woman near him. Arthur doesn't hide from the truth. Ask, and I'll answer. Of course he's enjoying the popularity. In your own words, what happened to Fjorm? Arthwin looks down and licks his lip. Fjorm. He pushes the blonde bristles away from the edge of his mouth. Every tribe knows his prowess. He's a hunter of great name, but this time, well, he fell behind. We spotted the giant Stilgar up on the Sentinel's Ridge above the waterfall of the North Weald. It was stalking for prey. Arthwin lightly shakes his head. Fjorm wanted us to split. He'd lure the beast to the river, and I'd flank it. The hunter scratches his flushed earlobe. Ah, but the beast didn't come down to the riverbank, so we tried to circle it on the ridge, and I managed to climb faster. There it was, ready to pounce on me. Arthur thrust his fist forward, and I pierced flesh mid-air. I rolled over and stabbed at its heart again and again. And then it was dead. The hunter pushes his mustache back and looks up. Fjorm couldn't believe that he hadn't earned the kill, not even a cut. He said he'd not return with the shame of losing to a twice-split arrow. Arthur sighs. I pleaded, but he was a keeper of the stone and would not listen. So he's exiled himself. Who knows where? What can you tell me about your tribe? We're young, the youngest tribe of the Eglanfath. Arthwin hesitates for a moment, scratching his beard and then spreads his long legs apart. But we're not weak. The other tribes have their history, and now we, the twice-split arrows, make our own. He puffs his chest and pounds it with his fist. We're true Glenfathans, true hunters, and I've proven our worth. His patches of golden stubble sparkle alongside a glowing smile. For it was me, not Fjorm, who killed the great Stilgar. Well, that was pretty straightforward. Can't wait to find out how this is completely wrong. Actually, it would be kind of hilarious if this quest is just completely straightforward and that guy's being completely truthful, but, you know, I highly doubt that that's the case. Oh, they're all 3 tusks. They're gonna be pissed at me. Don't mind if I unlock this.
Finished.
I just want to see what you guys are hiding. Exceptional male armor. Not bad, not bad. Nothing on that one either.
Finished.
Thanks for the free experience points. I most appreciate. Huh, okay. Nothing there, nothing there. Crates contain the few necessities of a Glenfathan traveling party. Furs, blankets, sturdy hide clothing, and gifts of carved Adra. Okay, nobody's named here. The hearth still smells of freshly cooked game. Grease splatters on blackened bricks. The table is scarred and stained from years of use. Nothing in there. Some opals.
Steady does it.
Is there anybody in charge? Oh, Simok. Okay, okay. I think this was the leader. This was the Anamfath of this tribe, if I remember correctly. Oh, Adir Customs, the Ethic Knoll. Oh, hello. The Ethic Knoll is a group of fascinating and dangerous, an ancient druidic order. Its beliefs fall well outside what the average person might imagine of a druid. The details are sketchy. The Ethic Knoll would seem to have originated in the White March, as the order itself consists almost entirely of dwarves. The traditional druidic chants of the Ethic Knoll speak of the people as a collective whole that created a necessary balance through their strict adherence to the purity of their line. This has been interpreted by historical chroniclers to mean that there was a time when only dwarves were allowed to the Ethic Knoll. Residing now in Twin Elms, records of the Ethic Knoll date back to well before the settlement had arrived at its present name, and in fact some information places them in Twin Elms even before the Glenfathans arrived. If it is true, the Ethic Knoll are among the oldest druidic orders in existence. Their beliefs don't conform to what is normally viewed as a druidic viewpoint. Sacrifice, blood, fire, and an intense drive for balance in all things, well beyond even most druidic standards, pervade their rituals. Core to this is the dogma that if you want something from the universe, you must sacrifice something to the universe to maintain the balance. Nothing can ever be received without something first being given. If you perform the sacrifice, your desires will always be satiated. The simplest example of the sacrificial balance, as explained to the author, went as thus. Say you are one of the Ethnic Knoll. Say you want your daughter's marriage to go well and you don't want problems. So you ask your elders what you must do. You are told what the appropriate sacrifice is and then you perform it. In this case, it could be as simple as throwing some coins into lava, giving the metal back to the earth, sacrificing something that is important to you, right? But the requirement is always different, and you don't know what is expected of you until you're asked. The most significant request, the more significant the demand, and most things of true value are paid in blood. I was told of people removing fingers, toes, even whole limbs. One Ethnic Knoll farmer was reported to have sacrificed his youngest son. Another good question many people have raised is in regards to the Glanfathans. Why do they allow such a potentially violent, possibly dangerous group to live amongst them in Air Glanfath? Why not force them out? Rumors are that the Ethnic Knoll are able to make from an ancient recipe a unique war paint, blood-based, and they are the only people in the world who can. The Glanfathans, it is said, have come to believe this war paint provides tremendous advantage in combat, and the residence of the Ethnic Knoll in Twin Elms is predicated on the fair trade of this substance. Interesting. I don't think we've run into any of them just yet.
Estremor?
A grizzled old elf, his hair braided and dyed, stands at one end of the hall. His arms and chest are crosshatched with a pale seam of scars. Its crooked smile looks like another. It's not many Estremoran who are permitted within our sacred city. Bethul must be feeling especially soft today. Adair pays no attention to his elf and instead has locked eyes with the Stalgar in front of him. He whispers to you, Do you think he'd mind if I pet the Stalgar? Adair, what the fuck? I don't have words. I suppose I should be thankful that he just whispered it to me instead of saying it out loud. Jesus motherfucking God, Adair, what is wrong? We have literally passed like 1,000 different fluffy animals on the way in here, as well as unfluffy, very dangerous animals, and you decide to bring this up when we're trying to get into negotiations with one of the 6 leaders of this fucking country. I mean, that's probably what Adair's thinking, Tenwin. That's probably what Adair's thinking, but we've literally passed by these things on the way into town from people who are way less important than this man. Adair, for the love of God, shut it. I'm also imagining that Haravius actually heard this part of the conversation and is now desperately trying not to laugh. Sagani lowers her head. Remember how well that worked out last time? Thank you, Sagani. Oh. I do like the idea that Adair loves all animals, but all animals hate Adair. Like, just straight up. It doesn't matter. It could be the nicest dog in the world. It still bites him. Adair has no luck with animals. You've come to hear your fortune at Ter Evron. His smile widens, exposing a row of yellowed, crooked teeth. The difference is that Itabak would bite your hand and a Stalgar would tear your arm off. Exactly. Adair, think before you speak, my man. Jesus Christ. I left you at home because I wanted to adventure with the monk for a bit. I didn't expect you to go off the deep end and start wanting to stick your hand inside a giant wild animal's mouth. Or to make your own at the Blood Sands. I don't think I've ever heard of the Blood Sands. It is an ancient rite and place of sacrifice. He laces his fingers together. In a cave by the great elms themselves. Restin and his druids are an integral part of our society for generations, no matter what some of the other tribes might say. Air Glanfath has held its own against the Estremoran because some of us still understand the power of sacrifice. He gives you an appraising eye. Does the thought make you uncomfortable? It should. It's what kept our society alive for so long. Simak crosses his arms once more. Something else? I take it that you're not overly fond of us Estremoran. His hunched shoulders straighten. I fought in the Brokenstone War. I fought in the War of the Black Trees. I saw my brethren cut down defending the places of the builders, and I shed blood alongside the great Galvin Regd himself. He coughs.
Now the Estramoran seem to think they will find a cure for their empty children amongst our sacred sites, or worse, sanctuary in our lands. His gaze darkens, and I have seen what happens when the Estramoran set their sights on Glenfathan's soil. They are desperate. The best of them want to find a cure, the worst looking for an excuse to plunder. I would ask then that you have pity on at least some of them. They're only trying to save their children. And when the Estramoran invade us in force and bring their plague here, what of our children? In 250 years, I have led my people through 2 wars. Our borders have remained intact through the reputation and skill of the three-tusked Stelgar. His voice drops to a growl. I have sired over 12 children. None have been deemed fit to take my place. I care nothing for the legacies that obsess the Estramoran lords. But it is important that my successor continue this path. If your own children don't succeed you, then what happens? Ordinarily, the Riol would turn to others in my tribe, to the clan heads and their families. Ordinarily. He levels his gaze on you. But we share a tradition of fostering the children of other tribes, and the Anamfath of Fisher Crane has trusted his youngest to my care. He grimaces, and as none of my own blood are fit to take my place, the Rial will look next to this bog child, the kin of another Anamfath, my foster daughter, to take my place. Ah, you should be so lucky, Aravius chirps. This young Fisher Crane lass is a great gift. You should be thankful. Aravius' voice becomes a low whisper. Especially given your familial feebleness. Aravius, for the love of God, I wasn't expecting to have you cause a diplomatic incident. At least not among your own people. Bog child. His shoulders stiffen. I have nothing but respect for Fisher Crane, but their ways are not ours. The Orlans of the Fisher Crane have lived in the Thane Bog for 1,000 years. They are cunning and furtive by nature. It serves them well when they have swamplands to hide their movements and fight in. But they cannot deter the Estramoran on open ground. Yeah, in my experience, as soon as someone in power decides he wants something that doesn't belong to him, there's no deterrent at all. He points at his warriors gathered near the fire. Our savagery has deterred the Estramoran from further encroachment. They still tell of our deeds in the Brokenstone War. But if a child of Fisher Crane leads our tribe, we will lose that boldness, and the Estramoran will lose their fear of us. The child will be influenced by the souls of our ancestors, and in times of crisis she will look to her kin in the Thane Bog for guidance. No matter what I try to teach her, it will not be enough. He considers you. There is a way you could help. Few have the stomach for it, but I think you have the perspective on why certain unpleasantness may be necessary. Clearly, he doesn't probably have caused a lot of violence due to Deerwoodens hating them, but tomato. Yeah. And also just this line right here. It's like, yes, I was wondering when we were going to get to the self-destructive angle of the Glenfathans, because we've been seeing self-destructive behavior from everybody else. What would make them different? They're still mortal after all. I'm going to go with the stoic option here. Say nothing. This Orlan girl, she does have the soul of a leader. Were it passed to one of my own offspring, then our tribe would remain strong. A Stelgar at Simok's side scratches its massive head on the Anamfath's leg. He remains steady on his feet. The druids of the Blood Sand have a way to do this. They understand the importance of the strong line of succession for the three-tusked Stelgar. Aravius steps closer, whispering, This isn't right. Souls aren't just passed to another without... Aravius falls silent, his fist clenching. Trust me, Aravius, I know. Let's at least give him enough rope to hang himself with first, okay? He gives you a key. There is a house in the southeast of Hearthsong next to the river. The child will be asleep. I've arranged for her to be unattended for a time. His voice becomes a quiet rumble. Take her. Bring her to Keeper Wardra in the Blood Sands. She knows what must be done. When she presents you with the liquid essence, bring it back to me. What will the Keeper do with this child? His scarred face twists again, and you're unsure if it's a smile or a grimace. Have you seen the rituals of the Blood Sands? She'll sacrifice her. It's the only way to distill her essence. Pelagina's lips curl into a sneer. How quick the old are to sacrifice the young for their own purposes. What is this potion that you need from Werda? It is essence, bound and distilled into liquid. It will have little immediate effect on me, but it will weave a stronger soul in my future issue. How can you possibly expect to get away with this? Few know the girl is here, and one Orlem babe looks much the same as the next. He shrugs. Let me worry about this. This makes me wonder why you would need an Estremoran to do this. Because I can't do it without attracting undue attention, he frowns. I don't relish passing my own burdens onto another, but this will incite war between the tribes if I am caught. I'll help you. You are a friend to the Glenfarthyn people. Act swiftly and quietly, Estremor. Tell me about the Three-Tusked Stalgar, the boldest and fiercest of the 6 great tribes of Glenfarth. It was we who first defended against the Estremoran when they came to our shores 200 years ago. He raises his chin. We were always the border tribe, and it has always fallen on us to hold the line against outsiders and invaders. Haravius leans in with a whispered voice. The way they keep mentioning battles of old, you'd think that the Three-Tusk a martyr tribe. Aye, they're fierce, and their history is rife with glorious deeds, but I sometimes think they'd fight the other tribes if they didn't have trespassers to hunt. What exactly do you do in this place? I am Anemphath of the Three-Tusked Stalgar, and guide our tribe in all matters. He looks to the main room of the hut behind you, where other warriors have gathered. I am here in Twin Elms to confer with some of the other Anemphatha about the Unofin, your Hollowborn, you call them. We only have such births here on a rare occasion, but it has made us more vigilant about our neighbors. One of his Stalgar stretches, flexing its claws. Seamok's eyes narrow. There are some of us who believe your Unofen to be a punishment for the defilement of the builder's sites. Others say it is a plague carried by the Estremoran. All answers to fit their hatred. No reason to believe a word of it is true. Yeah, we need to figure out what we're going to do with that kid, because we're not actually going to be sacrificing a child. I'm sorry, what? A young man approaches you with a swift and purposeful stride. While you never met him before, he has that same stern, wild look as Seamok. He doesn't speak until he's right next to you, and when he does, his voice is quiet. I saw you speaking with my father. What's this about? He glances back at the room with Seamok. He asked you to sacrifice Vela, didn't he? He grits his teeth. Maybe he's right about our tribe growing weak, but if this is the price of his strength, it isn't worth it. The tribes have survived this long because we have stuck together. Sagani does a double cake. Kid, are you sure that old elf is your father? Trust me, I would never hurt a child, but I needed to find out what he was doing. You do not seem the type who would, but my father will find someone who will. If you take too long, he doesn't give up on an idea easily. But there may be a way to stop him. He frowns. There is an herbalist among the Ovates of the Golden Grove, Bleda. Her name. They all gather southeast of here by the river. She could brew a poison. Seamok wouldn't know the difference until it's too late. Oh, there's the family resemblance. Given how Sagani has the most normal family out of the entire party, I'm not surprised that she's immediately like, oh yeah, there it is. Fuck me for believing that you were not a total asshole like your dad. Why not just return this child to her birth parents? It's complicated. A child sent to be fostered by another tribe isn't allowed to return. Unfortunately, explaining that we're shielding her from my father wouldn't make matters much worse. Both tribes. Tongues at a thin braid of his hair. So you want me to help you murder your father? No, but it's better than allowing him to murder a child. Let me guess. If Seamok dies, you're next in line. It is not like that. The Riau have already determined that my soul isn't strong enough. Whoever follows my father, it won't be me. I'll see what I can do about helping you. There's another glance back at Simok's chamber, his back towards the door. Like I said, seek out Bleda in the Golden Grove. Good luck. Durance might have a normal family. He might be the single. That would be hilarious. We just wander into some random podunk town in the middle of the Deerwood, and Durance just all of a sudden is like, yep, my family's over there. My mother and father are still alive, and everybody's real nice. And like, he just doesn't say anything throughout the rest of the trip. And everyone else in the village is just like, oh, Durance, it's so nice to see you. And he's just like, yeah, sure. That would be so goddamn hilarious. I would hate him all the more for it, because it's like, you came from a normal fucking life and you decided to be this much of an asshole. Clear waters taste sweet and refreshing. Ah, nice. We have a whopping 15 minutes, so let's see what we find. To Hersong, get Vela, and still poison. Wait, so here's the funny thing. But it isn't 100% people. Head to Hersong and get Vela and still poison the guy. We'll see. We'll see. I want to talk to everybody first. Iswold earned my trust. Why do you continue to support Arona? What is going on here? The High Ovate Arona was born not long after the Builders.
Hail, Estremor.
The elf holds a chipped wooden pipe. The sweet smoke wafting from the bowl makes you dizzy. Welcome, Estremor. I have herbs and potions for sale. Looking for something to ease your travels, or something to make them more interesting? When she grins and you see her teeth and gums are stained brown. Okay, I need everyone to gather up real fast. I need the whole party together. We are never bringing Zawa to this place. Is that understood? If we bring Zawa to this place, he's never leaving. Okay? We're all in agreement on that? Okay, moving on. Oh, Whiteleaf. Nice way to spend an afternoon. And the following night. And most of the next day. Snorting his way through your personal stash already. Exactly. We've already given him a small dosage of it back at the Caed Nua. I imagine he's already figured out how to climb Cograk like a tree, and probably is now trying to figure out how much Whiteleaf he'd have to give an ogre to see if the ogre has a drug trip. Luckily, we don't have quite enough of that on hand for him to do. Him thinking about it is better than him actually doing it. I've heard from a mutual acquaintance that you can make certain poisons. She takes a deep draw of her pipe. Poisons? I only deal in tonics that heal and enlighten. She exhales a puff of smoke. Of course, many a beneficial substance can be harmful if taken in great quantities, but that's just Wertha's way of keeping all things in balance. What kind of substances? She leans against the winding tree trunk behind her and ticks off the items on her finger. Oh, plenty. Concentrated Carogolin, undistilled spider venom, rotten bone moss extract, cave coral mixed with skein bone. He's currently asking Cograk to throw him as far as he can into the moat because he wants to fly, and it's a proper way to fight vanity. I can absolutely believe that. The funnier part is when Cograk does it, and then Zawa comes back and asks him to do it again, and Cograk literally cannot understand why any mortal kith would ever say those words in that combination. Fucking Zawa is gonna give Cograk an existential crisis. I'll take the concentrated Carogolin. She stops counting and scratches her head. What would you want with something like that? Well, my friend Stalgar is dying. He wants to ease the creature's passing. She frowns, her teeth clamped around the pipe. Poor thing. Take this. She gives you a vial filled with a dark fluid. It works slowly, but it will send him back to the cycle kindly enough. Just don't let it get displaced. Even half that dose would kill an Amawa. She taps the ash from her pipe into the grass. Anything else? I would like to see your stock. A whole bunch of stuff. Ooh, Vithrak braids. We'll take those. Thank you. Oh, that was the tiny beetle from the cage. We got another pet. Sweet. Give me those Vithrak braids. Oh, that's adorable. We have another pet, everybody. I think that puts us up to 12. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12. Yep. We have 12 pets following us around. Glorious. I have an entire menagerie on my tail. Golden leaves flash and shine as they fall from trees.
Hail, Estremor.
Though his eyes are closed and his posture still, the man before you keeps his head aimed at you as if carefully following your movements. Hail to you. May your time in the Golden Grove be enriching.
We get Valen, then return to Simeon. Okay. And hail to you, Autumn Orlan, the man says with a bow to Haravius. Haravius' eyes widen in surprise, his one good ear standing on end. How on Ayora did you... The man's eyes remain closed, and with a smile he speaks. Tranquility begets a receptive mind. He opens his eyes, revealing brown irises clouded with the beginnings of cataracts. With my eyes open, I see your birth form, but when I look inward... With this, he closes his eyes once more. I see the Autumn Stalgar. Let Haravius talk. I don't know how you can sense it, but you're right about me being the Stalgar. What do you know of the beast? Why was I ostracized from my tribe just for being able to assume its form? And is there a cure? Tharon. Tamaroon. Oh, because it's it's an oo sound, so Tamaroon. Tamaroon smiles, his eyes still closed. I know the beast is often sent by Galawain as a trial. Many Anamfatha are tested by the Autumn Stalgar. Those bested and consumed by the beast have their soul torn from their bodies, potentially lost for all time. So my tribe was right. Haravius looks crestfallen. His posture begins to slump, his gaze drooping to the ground. You saying I have such a terrible power? No, this must be some sort of... If your spirit form were a bee, would you be mystically compelled to make honey? Were it a bird, would you spend all day making nests? Tamaroon opens his eyes once more, looking upon Haravius up and down before wincing and shutting his eyes once more. I am saying this is what the animal your form resembles is known to do. It seems you are eager to leap to your own conclusions. I would not normally advise one to speak with the circle at the blood sands, but given your circumstances, the ethic knoll may prove insightful. He turns, and with eyes still closed, points to the northwest. Read the stone slabs carved by the druids of the blood sand. There are answers to be found, and more questions, but you must explore them yourself. What is written on these stones? Much of it is utter rubbish on the incessant need for sacrifice. His calm countenance wavers as he says the last word with a spit and a hiss. But amongst the dogma are a few bits of wisdom from Galawain. Your friend will understand. Is there no more you can tell us? Trust in Galawain. Trust in Whale. Both have blessed you in their own difficult ways. I appreciate the attempt to lift my spirits, Haravius grumbles, but that doesn't really help. Haravius sighs and digs into his ear stump with his index finger. But he has a point. I shall trust Whale has something to show me in the blood sands. An eagle spirit form would be awesome. Humanoid were-eagle. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. Although, well, I mean, it is a predatory animal, so I guess it still falls under Galawain's auspexes. Bark feels warm. The roots almost seem to twine around your hand. These are all ovates. Nobody else is talking. Ovates guard. That leads out. Golden leaves flash and shine as they fall from the trees. Golden sounds. There is... here we go. What's... Isolde. Isolde. Oh, okay, I see how it is. An elf with placid green eyes nods in greeting. Welcome to the Golden Grove, traveler.
Estramor?
Do you seek the wisdom of our herbalists or to bask in Weretha's glory? Who leads this group? High Ovate Arona leads us. She sometimes journeys to Elmshore to renew her strength. However, she's there now with some of her closest followers, in fact. Arona is a mighty elm amongst us and has lived for generations. There are none who understand the world as well as she. We are fortunate to have her wisdom to answer our questions. Tell me more of this Arona. Her eyes brighten. You must meet her for yourself. She is wise and kind and has led our order from the beginning. She walks among us and gives of herself freely. She turns her gaze to the great twisting elms above. This is what That is what so many of us cherish about her. She is present among us in a way that the gods never are. Tell me of this Golden Grove. We are the Ovates, druids, philosophers, students of nature. We gather here to share our knowledge and celebration with our kin. She gestures to another elven woman standing near the entrance to the grove. Many travelers come to us for poultices and remedies. Bleda understands the cures and poisons of nature like no other. What is your people's belief?
We believe that knowledge is found in the earnest exploration of the natural world. She tilts her head. We do not, as some have said, oppose the gods. We simply believe that we have found a brighter, more peaceful path than devotion. I mean, on the one hand, I can get that. On the other, believe that all knowledge is found in the earnest exploration of the natural world really just sounds like an aspect of Whale as the god of knowledge. So, but to be fair, Whale seems to like it when his own followers don't actively worship him anyways. So, win-win, I guess? Oh, fuck.
You have stayed true to our cause, Inquisitor, when so many others have not. For every heretic we confess, for every betrayer that burns on our pyres, new sheep continue to flock to Iavara Exencios. But not you. I underestimated you in the beginning, but no longer.
You honor me, Grand Inquisitor.
It is not for honor that I summoned you today, but for duty. Too many of our own have confessed upon the wheel and the rack and the flame. Too many of our faithful have had their minds poisoned by the Kratom witch. The tide is against us now. We have but one option. Iavara's following must see her exposed for what she is. She must confess her heresy before my court.
How would we reach her, Grand Inquisitor?
Not in Kratom, surely. Their lord has embraced her heathen faith and protects her with his army. But in Oceanus, things would be different. The king of Oceanus is a sinful man. We have helped him to see the error of his ways, and now he fears for his soul. He would pay any price for absolution.
How would we get Iavara to move to Oceanus?
You have already done much for the Inquisition. I wouldn't ask this were there any other choice.
Theos puts his hand on your shoulder. Oh boy, so we carry the soul of an ancient fucking, I can't even remember her name now, the god, not Magrin, not Magrin, not Eothas, Wodakup, sorry, an ancient Wodakan Inquisitor. Oh, I didn't see your comment, Tenwin, I'm sorry. Yeah. Two identical women seem to fade into view as they move away from the great trees that camouflage them. Their skin is tree bark, rigid and scaly, wreathed in a curling tangle of roots, buds, and blooms. Their hair hangs beneath the shade of serrated leaves like the drooping branches of the elms above, and the pupils of their eyes are encircled by hundreds, nay, thousands of concentric rings, as if to mark the accumulated wisdom of millennia.
Turn around, flesh creature. Outsiders are not permitted to approach the elms.
One of them extends a snarl of roots towards you that snakes and twists together to form something like an open hand, palm down.
Do you not feel it, sister? Something familiar.
An ancient soul, like the other one. Another defiler, no doubt. Let us fell him and be troubled no more. It would pay the debt of his predecessor.
The other stares at you unblinking, and her frown deepens, her face creaking.
So it would seem, Rhiannon. But we must not hasten to judgment. I see a different motive here. Different questions in these eyes.
I'll be honest, with the amount of problems that I've had with druidic magic over the course of this game, I really don't want to fight either of you.
What of it, young trespasser? Is it as my sister says? Or are you here to stain this place with foul deeds?
Okay. I can see why Passionate gets a couple of good dialogue lines, but we will not be doing that with this character. No, stop. You're not allowed to sleep with the ancient elemental beings. Stop it. I seek the man who came through here, and it sounds as if you already met him.
There! By his own admission, Sheetha.
Really, sister? And you wonder why your leaves begin to fall out before midsummer. Clearly that man did not want to be followed. Whatever the relationship here, I suspect it is anything but cordial.
Rhiannon opens her mouth to respond, but all that escapes her knotted lips is an exacerbated rustling sigh, while Sita turns back to face you. So your character hates Delimgan at this point? I mean, I don't hate them, but if they're going to attack me, I'm certainly not going to hold anything back.
The answer is yes, old one. We crossed paths with Theos not long ago, and we can tell you where he went. But I find it curious that anyone would seek him out. suspicious even. If we are to help you find him, we would know why.
Stopping him may put an end to Widewind's legacy, to the uncovering of so much harm in the Deerwood, and of an increasing level of tension between the peoples of Glanfath and the nations surrounding them.
So that is the reason he passed this way. This is low, even for the Leaden Key.
Okay, but I'm gonna have to ask then, if you knew he was Leaden Key, hell, you knew he was Theos, why the fuck did you let him pass?
I told you we should have confronted him, Sheila. He has always been a poison.
It would have been the last thing we ever did, sister. Who can be said to have ever gotten the better of Theos?
I raise my hand. Technically I have, which is why he's been, you know, killing everybody around me, and setting a city on fire, and killing a duke, and killing other leadership figures, and quite literally nearly destroying the entirety of Defiance Bay.
Yes, but imagine how much fun it would have been. Can't you just picture him all strung up in vines like an angry little puppet?
Ader, I'm just gonna go ahead and say this now. Do not ask to pet the Delimgon, okay? Okay? Because I feel like her mentioning that is going to be some kind of opening for you to try and hit on her, alright? Please don't.
But that's not what this is really about.
You either, her obvious.
You are bound to that man.
Sheeta glances over at you, and then her expression changes as though seeing you for the first time. What about dragons, though? What about dragons? We haven't dealt with them yet. I've been purposely avoiding them until I can find a way to actually kill them effectively.
I see it now. You are awakened. Your soul is awake, and something once buried deep now wells to the surface. Past overwhelms present, closes in around you. Your time has nearly reached its end.
I need to get to Theos. Petting dragons, I mean, if we manage to subdue a dragon without killing it, then Ader may pet it to his heart's content. I don't think we're going to be able to do that, but if we somehow manage it, I won't care at that point.
I'm sorry to tell you this, but Theos cannot give you what you seek. Nor can any man. An awakening cannot be undone, any more than your past can be undone.
Okay, my character is a cipher, and a watcher, and has had an awakening. Quite frankly, everyone's assumption that I just want to undo the awakening is getting a little insulting at this point. I want to actually stop the madman who is quite literally responsible for destroying a nation. Can we focus on that, please? What's she mean? I thought Merwald said... Sagani's eyes flicker to you. I'm sorry. We do not come down this road together to be refused passage by a pair of talking saplings. Durance, how is it that even when you manage to make me sound better, you still feel like insulting everyone around us? Matiko, there must be some way. So this journey has been for nothing. I'm still going to lose my mind.
The soul is formless without a past to shape it. Did you truly expect to be able to wipe it away?
I'd rather have tried to put things right. A noble thought, but for the lifetimes that separate you from your problems.
However, as much as my sister speaks truly that there is no way back from an awakening, there may yet be a way forward. Would you agree, Sheila?
I would. Were the way not so likely to end in death.
I don't say this often, but you underestimate me.
Or perhaps you underestimate your foe, Old One. Where your soul is renewed in its ignorance in each span of your life, his only grows in cunning and resolve.
All the more reason to deal with him.
The man Theos you must already know by now. You are linked by a common past. Something about it lingers within you, festering, unresolved. What it is I cannot see any more than you. And without that knowledge, your doom is certain. But were you to learn the source of this discord, perhaps it could be put to rest. Though it is equally possible it will trouble you as much now as it did then, and merely speed your condition to its end.
My past comes to me in pieces. How do I unlock the rest?
You might wait for it to come on its own, of course. But when it comes, it will replace your sanity's last breath. Such is the nature of your condition.
Or you could learn it from someone who already knows.
Theos. So he would remember.
It is said the gods made his memory perfect, that he may never forget his charge. If he ever knew, he still does.
Ah, yes, let's trust the millennia-old cult leader to tell me the truth. I can't see how this could go wrong.
Not that he would tell you, of course.
You have followed the right person for the wrong reason, it seems. We see it often beneath the elms. The soul dragging mind and body to unknown places for unfathomable reasons. You may have wandered into Theos's path many times, in many lifetimes, without an awakening to show you why.
The only thing that's certain is you did not find what you sought.
You said you knew where he went.
He has gone down beneath the tower to a place older than we, where the people of Engwith once walked. He makes his way to the buried city, Sun and Shadow.
May he stay down there and rot with the remains of his people.
He may yet. He won't be returning the way he came, that much is certain. He opened a secret path in the tower's base, and saw it destroyed behind him through some vile means.
Is there another way to reach him?
We know of one. On the burial isle, through the court of the penitents, Braeth Yaman. A shortcut, in fact.
Don't be cruel, sister. The way my sister speaks of is not for the faint of heart. A great pit at the center of a forgotten court, where faiths were judged in place of crimes. To most, it is simply a gateway to death. With the help of the gods, it can take you where you want to go.
And what do you mean by with the help of the gods?
The pit is said to have been a means of judgment by the gods. Those cast into it are meant to die. It is that way you must pass to reach Sun and Shadow. The court is old. We do not know much for certain, but it would seem only the gods themselves can grant passage.
What is this court?
No more than a ruin now. It is older than we. A place for the trial of heretics. We were not here to witness it, but at one time there was a group that refused to acknowledge the gods. Neither the first nor the last, of course, but these were numerous and all put on trial for it. Those who did not repent were cast into the pit and imprisoned below. The fall killed them, of course. The prison was not for people but for their souls, and their sentences were eternal. It is said that many of the condemned repented and were permitted by the gods to ascend from the pit, so long as they pledged their service to one of them. But these are old legends.
How would I ever get the gods to help me?
Behind us is Ter Evron, said to pierce the shroud itself and a place of communion with all gods. If ever there was a time for prayer, you have found it.
And now I have to end the conversation because we're already over time. Oh, dear Lord.
Tell me this, old one. I'm curious. If you were to subdue your enemy, what would you do with him? What would give you peace?
See, the problem is we know this doesn't work. Theos has been killed and defeated multiple times, and he just keeps coming back with the exact same memories every single time. A man such as he, the power to transcend the wheel, to hold his mind and soul as a whole and singular being despite being reborn over and over and over since the time of the Engwithans until now. There is a part of me that wishes only to set him back into the wheel, but that will not change things. The only way things will change would be to set him on a better path.
The best path for him is the one that leads to a hungry dragon.
He has had thousands of years to set his mind. I would not be so sure I could change it. All the same, think on this matter. Be assured in your course. In the end, it may mean all the difference, not just to his soul, but to yours. And be warned. Some questions have answers that can never be learned, and it is those that trouble the soul above all others. May you find an answer to yours.
Okay, good. I thought they disappeared there for a second. I was like, no, you have more dialogue. I just don't have time. Okay, so that is the end of today's stream. Let me pull up the raid menu and I can get y'all out of here. Thank you for joining me. Thank you everybody for joining me. In fact, we had quite a few people for a Monday stream. Usually the Monday streams are quite a bit lower. Why is my bitrate labeled as unstable? Average stream bitrate is too high. Just before I go, did anybody see any issues with the quality of the stream? Since Twitch is telling me that the stream bitrate is too high, and I don't even understand how that works, given the fact that I increased the bitrate so that we wouldn't have an issue with quality in the future, because we did have that one Rogue Trader stream where everything looked horrible. Forgot to ask what you think of the first DLC, but the stream seems good. The first DLC I honestly really enjoyed. There's a lot of speculation as to what they'd done, a lot of speculation as to what was going on with the dwarves. I loved the twist that it really seemed to have been setting up for the dwarves to have killed themselves, for that to actually be the explanation, and then to reveal, nope, it's something entirely different. And we will be finding out more about that in part 2 of the DLC, which I am very much looking forward to once we get a little bit further into the main story of Pillars of Eternity. So I am glad everybody found that pretty well. I'm not seeing no reason to raid into the big people that I watch, obviously. That's not going to help anybody. I'll drop you guys off with the Black Pants Legion. They're always a good time. Looks like they are playing a party game. Ah, they're playing a Jackbox game. Okay, that always sounds good. Jackbox games are pretty funny. I will drop you off with the Black Pants Legion. They are doing a Jackbox game, and it looks like they're just having some fun in the morning. So I will go ahead and drop you off with those guys. I thank you again, everybody who joined and everybody who followed in between last stream and this one, for joining us today. I hope you all have a glorious rest of your Monday and a glorious rest of your week, and I will see you again on Wednesday. Thank you all again, and thank you so much for joining me. All right. Bye-bye.